I throw this over to your casters. Give a warm welcome to Mitchman and Tombiz.
Thank you so much, Yinsu, and our wonderful analyst desk, Tombiz. It's time to kick off this BO5. Heretics and KC. KC killed the Kings, but they still have to fight for the throne, and I expect one hell of a fight here today.
Well, that's the thing. This is almost like their final boss. It's like in a video game. You come in, you have that friend that you go along the way with. You're kind of both going along the same road, and then you beat who you think is the final boss, and there's that one extra little fight at the end. That's exactly what KC are going for here. The team they lost to along the way. And the Heretics, well, they just have to do the same again.
I knew he wasn't a Jedi all along. For Team Heretics, 5v5 on the defensive side. This is going to be a big test. KC, we know that they're going to be pretty comfortable when it comes to Sunset, not least because they picked it, but with some results that are already in. And we're starting it off with some trades, but Team Heretics standing ahead, 4 versus 3, and the attempt to push through mid from KC has not worked.
5 KC Heretics, not the teams I had.
We'll have a timing later on in
winning.
The round. I mean, it's all about his pathing on that site. And his teammates making some noise potentially around middle to distract, but they've not. They've gone back to main. They've crept into site, looking just to take advantage of space. The man disadvantage is still lingering over their heads.
But for a second, like Magda
I had Fnatic, definitely. And then
isn't going to be able to find those shots. Spike will be planted.
I think Navi was also a strong contender, but the last time I saw Miniboo and Boo played Team Heretics, I think it was a while because I had like kind of a hectic cover of the EMEA kickoff due to personal stuff.
Yeah, and a big round, another one coming out of Patatek.
Last time I saw them play, I think it's their first game against Foot. Yeah.
That we've seen.
And then maybe the game against KC, because they've played each other before. And they skipped the sunset the first time they played. Like, yeah, very convincingly beat Kickoff 13-4, 13-4 on Split and Lotus.
If they don't have a standing, they're playing so well, and I think it speaks to the system that they've built as a roster. I don't know. Like, Patatek in my mind wouldn't come in and deliver a top-level performance. He'd be good, but he's been great in this roster.
I think also he'd be good individually, but he has been a huge piece of the puzzle in terms of setting up and interplay between the team. I've been really impressed with him overall. A very aggressive move from Martin. He's actually going to come up with a double.
And Martin seems like unleashed. Like he plays with no restraint, no fear, no... Like, he can do no wrong, basically. And it's always, like, very important to be able to get your player in that, like, mental state.
Great stun in the corner, 2 players unable to fight! Or at least you'd think. Now, Right still gets away with one, but the trades come in, leaving a 20 HP Shin with a classic to do it all! And somehow he's
And they lose the pistol, but they win the Echo, the entire... No, they win the Echo, yeah.
In their victories have had really strong defensive,
which is a big signal already for KC. It's gonna be a very interesting series. The pick and bans though, let me see, because I missed them.
Every single win that KC
the map
has been 8+ rounds on the defense. So both proving that
they are not updated on
video. I think a lot of that for KC though is very different to what we see from Heretics. I think
so we have Ban,
Breeze, whereas for KC it's actually their
Ban Ascent,
which are really difficult.
Pick Lotus, Split Sunset, Pick Split, Pick Icebox, and then Bind as a decider.
It's been really impressive seeing the depth that KC can bring to the table. For Team Heretics as well, though, it's that combination. Your Miniboo absolutely popping off. Benji is an insane, as you said, both his lurking and his just solo side holds were nuts. On this map in particular, I recall multiple rounds where they would go out on B and he would pick up 3. Make it look very easy. Get out of there with mostly full HP as well. Definitely going to be a threat for this squad as time ticks on. For now, 50 seconds on the clock, and as we can see, the defensive side doesn't have a lot, mostly Sheriffs, and that's when you group up. They decided to group up on B, put the numbers there, but the push hasn't come through, and their rotate is a little late. They might be stuck looking for a retake on the A side here. There's not very many favorable fights they can take.
Yeah, a lot of teams in this sort of position might even opt to just try and play some exits, do some damage, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Miniboo already finding an opener. Makes this round at least a little bit more interesting. Magnum has the cam set up and destroyed immediately. The Paranoia has blinded basically the entirety of the team, and they just swing out together, but it's mostly going the way of Carmine Corp. Benji finding the rifle, but the re-swing from Shin leaves just Benji standing, and through the AWP he will go down. 2-1. A little bit costly for KC, but bear in mind a lot of what they had was saved from the previous round anyway, or at least what Shin had, so they still have the finances to play with.
Yeah, there's only going to be 1 or 2 players who start to reach the lower end of the credit spectrum. I think all in all, they can be pretty happy, especially with the dueling power we've seen on the other side. Heretics certainly putting up a fight, but they've lost that lead now. It's in the hands of KC, 2 in a row. Rifles out, Thrash online for this KC squad, so a big danger. If you're on the defensive side, putting all your credits on the line across the board. You don't expect this kind of a play, this kind of aggression out of Miniboo! The stakes were so high for Heretics here, risking the map flying out of their control, and their solution is to send Miniboo on a suicide mission. We saw him do this the last time they played the map, and it was a disaster. Not so much this time.
Yeah, it was very hit and miss. Either he did that or he died immediately, and at the moment, all he's doing is taking over the round. Again, worth noting, a fantastic supportive flash out of Padatek. Again, these are the sort of plays that I'm talking about. Putting that utility in place. Normally you see those assists coming through because he's throwing a KO knife, not because he's got the flashes on the board. Now for the remaining players of KC, it's trying to almost just recover something here. Dropping a few guns, not allowing those orbs up, maybe getting a plant for a few extra credits. It's not a pretty scenario, and in fact, with 45 seconds left on the clock, they might actually just save. We'll see if they're going to go rotating around. It seems like they put a smoke down onto B, maybe just to sell a ruse, but I don't think they're playing this round anymore.
No. This is a 30-second save. A devastating blow from the side of Heretics.
30 seconds left.
And like you said, Tom, right? You have that flash coming out of Padatek. It's left the whole squad blind. I mean, their heads were like candles on a birthday cake. They didn't stand a chance. I thought Ryan was back in the studio. But for KC, they're not left in the best of position. Their economy, like we said, there's 2 players who don't have credit, so those 2 carried over rifles will give them a lot to work with. And I think they can thank their lucky stars that Heretics didn't get antsy, didn't go for any aggressive plays, because Heretics could easily take these weapons out of their hands. But as that time goes all the way over, you can see 2-2. 2 weapons recovered. A full buy possible for KC. They're not letting it slip just yet. And like we said, they have got some ultis. And look at that. The pop is absolutely perfect. The slide around,
so
blind. Clean.
They are so blind. And that's the thing. We can start talking about some of the numbers we have in this server at the moment. A lot of them are going to be Miniboo, I'll be honest with you. I think he's #1 on like ACS, ADR. He's even #1 on clutch percentage, which considering his entry fragging is ridiculous. He's #1 on first kills, and actually has a really good ratio with his first deaths, which is absurd. But one of the more interesting ones is Narrate's up there in a lot of them. Even playing the Initiator, he's #3 on ADR, same for ACS. And talking of assists, #3, Padatek. He's been fantastic, consistent all the way through. I think #1 is Chronicle, so tough man to beat. And also, it only counted 2 games. Whereas, well, Heretics have played 1 more. KC have played a lot more games.
Yeah, they had a tougher run through the tournament, thanks to these boys. Oh, that stun is pretty rough for Magnum, but they don't know he's there. They haven't cleared it. He's unstunned, but Benji's getting the better of him. The ult immediately used, and that's a lurker killed. They know that. They've seen all these bodies towards the A site. You can see the reveals popping up as Rian's fires through some shock darts. Just an attempt to slow them down. As we can see, the rotates have taken place. Padatek now in position, as well as Boo helping him out, and helping him out he is. 2 quick kills, Paranoia through, Rienz picks up 1 in the chaos, and they're set up perfectly to close the round. Really good stall from Heretics, a great execution when it came down to it.
Yeah, I think again you see the interplay. Like even when you like Carmine Corp are able to isolate one of these players on the other side, Firstly, this initial duel, there's a trade immediately. Secondly, this initial fight, there's Boo as well, just to support. Like, there's never an easy battle, and I think that's a lot of what you need on this attack inside, is you see teams trying to isolate the duel. You're going to watch it from Miniboo just sliding into angles in the next half. Like, those early fights are so important for the attack side, and when you fall into that sort of stack up of players, well, you can't really expect KC to come out on top. Now, this round's a little bit more interesting because, Mitch, although the finances suck, there's still opportunities here for KC because of the ults.
Yeah, that's the main thing, right? A Thrash finding its mark here, Martine's going to be on you immediately. And obviously, the showstopper, it's a little bit devastating on its own. There's certainly potential for this squad on the attack. They've made noise B, they've made noise mid, and the ultimate plan is to catch this player pushing up, but it has not worked out. Boo is putting a stop to this here and now. No potential has been realized, but still some remains. Martine and Narrate, those two powerful ults, not likely to be used, but they have got rifles. Picked up the first at least. Miniboo, though, avenges his brother and leaves Narrate with 45 HP and 4 opponents to take down. 3 opponents to take down.
Yeah, he's still someone you have to be careful of. 45 HP, though, and they are all lining up ready, like a firing squad to take him out. Great round, and that's the thing. There are a lot of Boos around at the moment. I've seen Mama Boo hanging out. She must be incredibly proud. Both of her sons, pro players. I don't know what my mum thinks. Look at me going, I've got one. You can do that. But they've been so impressive throughout this tournament. Like, they've been leading the charts for the majority of the event, and the fact that Boo has gone from a player last year, where you're talking about someone that we weren't even sure if he'd be around. Like, with how poorly Heretics did, they invested in him again, and it was worth it. He's been incredible, and his brother said it in one of the interviews. He had it all along. Maybe the support wasn't there.
Oh, here we go. Thrash right off rip. Narrate's looking for someone, and he has been caught. Thrash not going to get as much ground as you'd hope. The trap wire saving them, but now they've got another space-taking tool, or at least they thought they had. Quick kill by Benji, and the support from Panatek. Rian's and Miniboo doubling up. This is looking beautiful from Team Heretics. And, well, an Andalucia flawless, it certainly feels like it. They had compliments from Benji Fishy about their retake. On the other side, it wasn't even a retake. They actually stopped their opponents before they could get in, and they've done it again. This is looking devastating for KC.
Yeah, a pause as well, because of all the maps that we've got sort of coming up, this is the one where you look at them to be most favored in this series. Like, it is, obviously, they had a troublesome time last time out when they played versus Heretics in general. They got absolutely destroyed, but on this map at least, you're looking at a 13-4 versus Koi, a 13-8 versus Vitality, and a 13-7 versus Foot. At least 2 of those you consider to be big names. The other one, well, they got a new team. We'll give them a little bit of a break. But the fact is, the expectations coming in here are high. As said, they're very good on that defensive side, but you've got to leave yourself some wiggle room. You know that if you let Miniboo run away like this and he goes onto the attack, he's shredding you on the attack as well. Like, he goes, well, I've already got 20 kills. I might as well go for 30 while I'm there. So I think this is already a pretty dangerous ground. I will say, though, I haven't looked into this at all, but it always feels like whenever Eng takes a pause, the next round, or maybe the next buy round, normally goes pretty well for the side of KC.
Pretty valuable being able to lean on that coaching staff. And you know, it's not just the vibe of the players down on the stage. We saw this coaching cam, and it's rare to see Weber and Neilzinho giving it like this. In fact, I'll make a request. Can we get a replay package of just those? Because I've seen at least 3 rounds where they've just been laughing their asses off.
All I'm going to say is, you better make sure you win this map, guys, because KC fans do not forget. They will be coming for you.
We're more important.
They will be coming for you.
Oh, well. Let them come. As Optimus Prime said. For KC, like you said, they're dangerous here. It is a round where they've got a lot of SMGs to work with. 3 Stingers, a Spectre, and a Sheriff on the side of Carmine Corp. And they're spread out in their defaults, taking control of the map, possibly looking for some orbs as well to farm up. Look, Tamazi is only 1 away from having his Viper's Pit to play with. Plant could get that online, and, well, those Stingers and Spectres will look a lot more dangerous if they're playing inside the pit. There's an orb right there.
Yeah, the only thing is it gives away their plan. Like, for the most part, right now, Heretics are somewhat guessing. It seems like they've guessed correctly because they've already cleared out B main. Paranoia, though, is already going to find them that opener. Martin with the first kill. And with these stingers up close, you do have to be a little bit more careful if you're on the Heretic side. Boo from above. This is an angle we've seen quite a few players try and sit in. And well, there you go. There is that Viper's Pit after the plant. Instead, Boo actually goes up above. And if he drops down, he's actually going to Goomba stomp someone instead.
It's a tough decision here. I mean, he is really playing blind in this, but that reveal certainly helped him out. It's only Martin down. Those weapons still so dangerous. They can catch a close fight inside of Viper's Pit. Flash is good. It's kept them back. Heretic slowing on the way through. They've already lost Patatek. The drop is good, though. That's the pit down. He gives his life for it, but a chance now for Benji. Never mind. Quickly shut down by Shin. And Magnum had the trade either way. Like you said, Tom, KC, after the pauses, their win rate seems to go up. And, well, they've found a win.
I also said be careful with the laughing.
It's true. It's true. Lesson learned. Look at the speed of Martin there. You can see Miniboo immediately turns. He popped his abilities trying to speed his way out of there, but there was no fast lane for him, unfortunately.
Nice. Let's go,
It's on the highway to hell.
Nice.
5 to 3. As you can see, Ang is ecstatic.
As he's ever been.
That's the happiest he's ever been. Him and Nats were a match made in heaven, obviously.
Poison's off.
Nonetheless, it's put KC back on the map, but now they go back to this slower style of play. Like, you have to bear in mind, a lot of that was around an explosive start to the round, where normally you'd had quite aggressive positions from Heretics, as they do now, but that round they were playing passive because they were up against an eco, and then the Viper's Pit, which of course is not online anymore. The only thing available is that from the shadows, which for most people other than Mystic doesn't have high impact.
Yeah, rotational ultimate a lot of the time. A very slow approach from KC. And you see a rotation in from Nares. Again, not having a trap inside B main, they've got to be worried about anybody having pushed up, but with the spike being on A, it's a weird one. I think they're faking A. Paranoia used, Martin creeps up, makes some noise, and then they start to step back. We can see the rotate. Just take a look up towards the spawn. You already have players on their way.
30 seconds left.
Patatek moved across middle. He's caught Magnum. But then in comes the play from Martin, and it's not done well. That flash was perfect.
Yeah, again, Narrate's utility is on point, unfortunately. Too many fish, not able to hit the target. And also, other than Benji, the players, at least most of them are healthy. Trying to get this back into a winnable position is not going to be easy. And now the stun's going through. Counter flash is excellent, but the paranoia has left them so blind. And now, well, it's going to be the leading of the charge from Miniboo. So much damage being done, leaving just Tomazi to try and fight back. But he will not be able to. The blip on the radar is quickly fixed. And Heretics are going to double up once again.
Well, I think Uli's happy with how things are going so far. Patatek was looking there. He started his rotation, actually filled in the gap that they were looking to exploit. So it's backfired a little bit on the side of KC. Immediate answer back. It was 4 in a row. What do you think, Tom? Any ideas?
Let's flip and go.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or maybe it was fudging. I don't know.
One
of them.
It could be. I think, yeah, we'll have to start a Twitch poll.
50-50. There's no other options.
No third option needed.
And we don't want your suggestions.
Yeah, user submitted suggestions. Not happening for this
Banned,
one,
in fact.
unfortunately. Well, round number 10 kicking off, and Team Heretics, a slow and steady start, but they're chipping away at this. The defense is looking decent. 9 rounds still possible at the half, and KC have weaker weapons. So this round win looking likely for the defense, but this is where KC have been able to pull out some of those wins. One of them, most recently, on the attack. They have been very patient. They've tried to push and pull this map and bait Heretics into over-rotations, but I think Heretics have been decently patient. I wonder how much of that is Miniboo being able to speedily cover those gaps.
I think it's also just they're really confident in Benji. Like, they are more than happy to go, okay, we can gamble a third player over to A because he's going to do a good job to delay. And especially if he has some supportive utility. Through they go. There he is with Rians, the support, and then ready for the split to come in from behind. He's so aware of all of the positions. Oh! And it's actually Rians to snap back. In fact, he's cleaning up, leaving just Shin remaining. And look how aware they are of this last man's position. It doesn't matter. He still lands the shot, but it's Rians again. another round on the board, and well, it's nice when you can talk about something and it almost immediately comes up, just a perfect little combination between the two players in market. And right now, these explosive takes on towards that B site have just not been working out for them.
No, I mean, there's a couple of things not working out for them right now, but I actually really like that approach to the round. I think they did a good job, again, running that clock down, spreading it, spreading the cover. Once they move in towards market, that timing is near perfect. The eyes are on B main, the execute's coming in, and both Benji and Rien's turn to watch that angle. They're ready for the fight. But the timing, they're so aware. It's like a clock starts ticking in their head the second they look away from an angle. Okay, we have 5 seconds and someone could be coming through there. They turn, and it's damn right every time. And I gotta give it to Benji Sentinel, because this is exactly what we came into this map highlighting about this man. His B holds have been very difficult to deal with. Getting past him is tough. We've seen several attempts at it, destroying the deeper traps using nades and everything like this, but it's just not working. When they come down to taking those fights, he always has the backup, and he's getting ahead 10-5 right now as a Sentinel. And with 7 rounds on the board on defense, I think you can definitely give a lot of credit towards him. Obviously, Miniboo's aggression as well has just been out of this world. Patatek's got 10 assists. Some of that is the knife, but we've seen a lot of good flashes too.
Well, a second round force win, or not force, just investment win. A third round win, and then the round after the pause. That is all that's currently on the board for KC. As said, expectations for their defense have been high, but right now it does look like they're getting shut down by Team Heretics. Having that Thrash available might be able to help them out a bit. But the fact is, it's mostly been those more explosive plays that have actually worked out for them. Look at the 4-man stack initially over onto this A site. Early aggression being taken, a dart thrown over, maybe even a flash as well. I'm not sure if it was thrown out. No, the knife was thrown out instead. But now they are picking up that pace once again in towards one player, but that one player delivers once more.
Yeah, a retake setup from Heretics where they're very ready for KC to come in, dumping those ults, your Thrash right off rip, and some utility as well, but it gets them nothing. They've lost health, nade is through. That might even stop the plan. It might do damage on the back of it if it wasn't in the corner. The bounce was a little off, but Rien's shots weren't. Tamasi, though, stepping up to find some damage, already thrown out his snake bite. It will slow them slightly. We're not going to see it used for the later round. The block off this control, of course, not having the orb, but not having any life left, gets even more in the way. Magnum, the last man standing, 1v3. And we saw Heretics win from this position many times, but they had a smoke to spam through and a slightly better plant position for the spams. Another round found for Team Heretics. This defense just cannot be stopped.
Yeah, and they're so prepared. I've been singing his praises throughout, but Benji setup, just getting that one kill, and then the rest just comes down to retaking as a team, which they've been excellent as well, especially when they have that man advantage in favor. 7 of the last 8 now going in that advantage, looking like a potential for a 9-3 half. But let's see what sort of response there can be. Obviously, the pause is already being utilized by the side of KC, so we're not going to be seeing much more from Eng. But I guess at this stage, you almost had to try and have a chat with the team. Now they're setting up on the other side. It's so different, and again, within seconds. I don't even think that was the 5-second mark, and already, Martin is gone.
Barriers up, 5v4. It's like playing an attack side up against Artis. He was so annoying on the side of Na'Vi, constantly posted up with that operator, yet they do it with Miniboo sliding into angles, taking quick duels, not having the escape, but not need. Well, I guess he does. He just did it there. It's dodgeball being played out. He's just so hard to hit, and he hits hard. 8-3, 1 round left, and a man advantage towards the defensive side of Heretics. Pressure is on, but again, they're pushing in towards Benji Fishy.
They did this before. Similar setup. They have cages to protect. Trips put in place to allow him to just sit within this corner. Look, they've actually doubled them up. So even if they shoot one, the other one will catch him. Miniboo dropping another, and they have that fragment to try and hold them back. This is a masterclass from the side of Heretics, but Rien's been caught. Thomasy giving them at least a little bit of an opportunity. 30 seconds left on the clock. Is he really going to try through the smoke? Left. You assume there has to be something else to this Shin having to make a move, otherwise he's going to have to just push straight into the blender. And with the stun leaving him, just in a position where I don't even know what they can hope to find. It needs to be a miracle shot, and it isn't going to happen. Shin now with seconds left to spare, and he's going to walk straight into Minibu as well. An utterly dominant half from the side of Heretics, and KC, they need to wake up.
They absolutely do. This is their map pick, somewhere they've looked good before. Lotus up next, and the devastation that's reigning on this side from Heretics, it's coming from these early battles from Minibu, and when the clock runs down, they're pushing into Benji. There's no safe route for this squad. The upside, well, their attacking half is over. Maybe that's the tougher half out of the way. As they move over to the defense, we're expecting numbers to go up in their favor, and we've seen these comebacks into maps. It's not over, but it is definitely in the danger zone for the French fans out there.
So I remember a story in the past about Boo and Minibu potentially playing together and Minibu not being ready. I want to know what not ready is, because he seems overly ready at this stage, just blitzing through tier 1 opposition. You almost think there must be a load of teams kicking themselves right now who could have picked him up from the tier 2 last year. And now, well, he's probably run riot versus half of those teams.
I think we've seen that a number of times, right, throughout Valorant's history, but there's a little more on the nose here. Yeah.
What's he been doing for the last year? Nothing.
He's been cooking, my goodness. And it smells good. 9-3. Defensive side for KC, about to be tested. And we talked a lot about the holds from Benji fishing Magnum. The Sentinel on the other side, good snake bite. That should slow them down, certainly do some damage on the way through. Benji, 30 HP. He ran in to make sure he could trade out his teammate at the very worst. See if that health ends up playing into it later. Some of it was the decay, so he's 74 after that fades away. It's not too bad. It's workable, but he's being chipped away, and that final fight for him seems to be coming pretty soon. He's going to have to scrap on the side, and Martin's quick to take it. Magnum and narrate. Shin wants his piece of the pie too. The whole team gets involved. KC find a round at last.
Yeah, a start that they desperately needed into this second half, and as said, this is where they've done most of their work so far. I think 8 rounds a couple of times, 10 round once in the defense, so they've definitely proven that they can do it. 9-4. Still a long way to go to get themselves back into this game, and with, as said, how fearsome Minibu has been, you expect him to at least steal a round away. Maybe not this one. He's only going to be left with a classic. Benji, the only one to invest into anything here, and that's mainly just the extra credits he earned from the kill in the last round.
A numbers advantage is going to be pressed towards the spawn. Martin has one hell of a fight on his hands. Paranoia's caught him. He's out of there at least. Body blocked a little, but it's okay. They're safe. The mosh pit's bought them a little bit of extra time. Try to isolate Magnum, perhaps. The flash is good. He's got some support. He doesn't need it. He was about to have a teammate come around the corner, but Damazi late to the party, and Magnum's already shut off the music. Nice and easy for KC. Cleaned up in an Andalucia flawless. 9-5. They're on the road to recovery for sure, but here come the guns for Heretics.
Yeah, this is definitely where things get a little bit more interesting. I will say, for the Heretics side, I'm always happy to see teams putting a little bit more stock in buying a piece of utility rather than just buying an extra ghost or something like that, because that was the plan there, to try and use a couple of extra flashes on Panatek and use Boo's Paranoia for the same. There was a world where they catch a couple of players there. They even get them with the Paranoia, they're just unable to actually convert. But ultimately, KC weather the storm, managed to win those fights. But now is where things get interesting. Now, bear in mind, their weaponry's a bit weaker, so they're going to try and go aggressive. The flash is good, but it does seem like Shin was a little bit ahead of it.
I think it's an awkward enough angle as well when you're trying to quickly pace your way through. The Gecko flash moves quite slow. I think mainly focused on mid there as well. You know, for KC, the disadvantage, it's still workable, but the weaponry weaknesses, 3 Bulldogs alongside a Stinger, they need to keep numbers in favor when fighting, and close range makes it even better. A little ambitious from Minibu. Perhaps the idea being he's got the information to play off of now. It's a little bit awkward. Thought we were going to have a free kill.
Oh, I think we might. Brian's stuck in a corner. Turning this back into a 3v3. They've only just managed to find Magnum's cam as well, so he's revealed another. I think as though Benji and Boo still standing. Martin is going to try and get this one to half the Benji there on the peak. It will be the round taken for Heretics, but a costly one. A decent amount of damage done with what was bought
Okay,
onto
bonus
the SMGs.
for KC.
True. It could definitely open the door.
But then it's very
problems
like
further down the line for the Heretics squad. KC
very
buy
close.
up and in prime position, but they're at 10-5 down. Needs to be a flawless couple of rounds. Yeah, like you see that player fighting inside, right? The flash catches him. If he's a step forward, it doesn't. It's unlucky, really. Just that Shin doesn't win the fight. He's been decent so far. But Heretics, as you said, they had a slightly shorter route, but without dropping a map, they've made it here. And by the looks of it, they want to continue that trend. This is KC's map pick. They're on double the rounds. And KC are putting all their credits into this one. Sure, there was damage done previously, but this is Heretics' chance to put their foot down. Choke KC out of the series.
Oh no! Just a little bit of spam. And Thomas, he's already gone. The main defense on the site. A couple of teammates jumping to the aid of Miniboo. Make sure he doesn't get caught out by spams, but the rest of the players are all sectioned out from the site, just trying to reclaim some control into market. Clearing into mid, but Magnum's gone down as well. Again, these spam shots just seem to be doing so much damage. Finally, Narrate is able to find one back. Make things look at least a little bit more competitive, and Miniboo with an uncharacteristic whiff is going to give this back to a possible round for KC.
Oh, the flash is good, though. That's Martin down. Who's going to defuse? Well, there's still a little guy to work with, but they're looking to scrap instead. Narrate finding one, then sending the man out to defuse. He's going to hold it close inside the smoke. He's got the first. That's a third kill in the round and a chance to take it all the way. But Panatek interrupts him at the worst possible moment. 11-5. It comes close, but again, we tip the balance in favor of Heretics. 2 more rounds to close this out and start the series off.
One bullet away. Like,
yeah, I think that comes down to just the last bullet. A little bit unlucky. I also think Boo maybe got baited a little bit by the just forgetting that he has a wingman. Because he goes running through like, he's defusing when he's still holding on to it. 11-5 though. Heretics firmly in the lead, sending Miniboo out as a one-man tank, leading that charge. Now the fact is, although the weapons are weak, the read from KC is spot on. 4 players on this side of the map. They're hearing the drone, they're hearing the noise. They're going to know that they've got this one right.
Everybody's waiting. No one wants to make that first move for KC. They've got the numbers here, right? You just hope that Heretics burst through. They control across the map and a cam as well to spot market. There's no need to over-rotate. They'll put most of their eggs in one basket.
Revealing area.
Now it's time. The utility's coming. They know they've made the right gamble. They still need to see the reward for it. Martin, the first to find a kill, clean onto Benji Fishy. Damage done onto Boo. The kill only 1 before the trade comes through. This is looking nasty. Boo even contemplating bailing out of here with the ultimate, and indeed he will. Sending it to their spawn. They've heard him. They're close enough. Shin has that information to play with. The players also moving into spawn. The cross here, dangerous. It's being watched by so many of KC's players. You still have Martin and Magnum holding strong and keeping Panatek back. And the crossover for Boo, he might think he's got the sight, but actually, there's someone here waiting for him. The rotate's already come in from Shin. The angle's a little off. Couple seconds left, and he's got him. Surely now he can just defuse it. So far away, Panatek doesn't stand a chance. Knife out. He's running, but he'll never get there in time. And the nade, well, it comes in after the round is already over. A disaster for
losing that gun is so bad for KC.
Yeah, fantastic read coming out from them to have that initial stack up, and it just becomes a little bit panicky. I don't mind the initial TP spot. I was thinking that'll be a position where they could sort of pincer the players if they try and rotate. Yeah. The only problem is the time. Like, eventually it got to a point where Boo had to try and move, and Shin was just waiting for a player to go for the plant. Heretics, even though it's only, what, the first buy round that we've actually seen go in their opponent's favor, they're going to take an early pause. Finance is definitely a little bit on the brink for them, and if they're going to try and risk it and do some damage here, they're going to want to have a talk with the coach.
Well, the smile's no longer on the faces of the Heretics coaching staff, but they don't need to feel too tense just yet. A 5-round lead that can quickly slip away from you in a game like Valorant. A couple mistakes, and KC are right back on you. But for Heretics on this attack side, you have to think that round is coming. Miniboo's been a little bit quiet. They've shut him down a couple of times in the last few rounds. And eventually, he will find his mark. He'll show up. I have to say Rian's as well. I feel like when he's put back against the wall into a corner, he's able to punch out and at least take 2 down with him a lot of the time. He's been having some really good rounds, I think, especially with Benji on B on the defensive side. It's been very impressive to watch. So much more needed from this squad. A couple seconds left before we get into the thick of it. For KC's defense, Thrash is online. Some sort of a safety net to fall back on.
As said, a lot of their strengths on the defensive side did come down to their retakes. If this lands outside the map, I'm going to laugh so hard. No, we just follow it the whole way.
It's good. It's good. Great. Well, the camera's not there, I'll tell you that.
If it was, that would have looked really cool. Unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah.
So, I don't mind.
Magnum just watched that land. Look, nice try. Nice
try.
They've
missed their shock dart. How'd you know? I saw it.
Big stuns on the back of sight, but Shin again, he's going to have his head screwed on properly. Oh, the timing! No one's watching! That's such a big gap! They've left it wide open for KC, and it's capitalized on. Now spraying through smoke, Rian's is down. And this Heretics hold. Plant in that same position, spam through the smokes. Well, it needs to be damn good to get out of this one. Miniboo hits a few shots, but not enough. 11-7, the gap down to 4.
Yeah, again, weaponry weak, but that was still a scenario where you felt like there was an opportunity once they got into the post plant, until a second later Shin peeks into the entire team facing the wrong way. So maybe a few slip-ups here and there, but ultimately everybody wanting to try and retreat. It's unfortunate as well because coming into the round, Padatek was the one with the rifle, so although it drops into somebody else's hands, if he's facing the right way,
let's go. Come back,
they actually could have taken that one. Starting to believe. 4 rounds the difference, and well, a streak of 4 rounds for KC on their defense in series versus other team has been nothing. For now, though, I am looking at the ults that are available. Overdrive for Miniboo, but more importantly, having Null Command now online with that orb taken, and the Hunter's Fury.
What the fuck are those owls,
man? You can easily see
where is this going?
Spam taking over the round. It looks like that they might be opting to try and challenge into middle. That's where the majority are going at the moment.
Yeah, slow bleed into this control.
They have the cam though.
Up top mid.
They know it's somewhere.
Off, but KC have got some wide coverage with their traps on this round. Understandable considering the stack. And I mean, it's rare to see so many players on that A side off of next to nothing. I mean, a full retake attempt.
Oh, it broke the tip mid, forcing the Viper to stay.
He can break down their utility, blitz in. He better do a damn good job, or someone on Heretics better, because they are shifting to the wrong side of the map, straight into A. Ult pop. Now this is on C.
That's a bait.
He's running it through. The cam is above him. It's not being blocked out, and it's actually seen him. Okay, it's destroyed, but only one player there. No more noise heard. They're sticking on A. They haven't fallen for it at all. In fact, they're primed and ready to duel. Heretics are the ones caught off guard, you would think. The spike is down in the open, 2 players protecting, 10 seconds to get that spike planted. They need to go for it now with a cross from Shin. He's down. Only a couple seconds to plant. The coverage needs to be there, and it's not. The pistol out for Boo, and it's too late. The time already gone. Another for KC, not down and out of it yet. The gap is now 3.
Yeah, I do feel like they're a little bit unlucky, because in most cases you are going to have your Cypher in that position, unable to check that cam, but it's the round where KC just put all their eggs in one basket, look to play the retake, and because of that, they have everybody sat there waiting. And obviously Padatek's just a little bit too far behind to really have much impact in the round.
Let's go, boys!
The concept good, but unfortunately for Heretics, it looks like a blunder from afar. Well, that streak of rounds really starting to build up for KC. Financially a good spot, ultimate points in a great spot. 1 off of Viper's Pit, Showstopper, Thrash online already. And unfortunately for Heretics, they're back down to the pistols.
A lot of weaknesses in this round. Really nice to see KC playing the big brain version of Valorant. Cypher other side, bait out that ultimate from Padatek. round falls to pieces. Now that's a good adaptation, a good read, but there's plenty more to be seen. Again, that
very
shock
good
dart
stuff
thrown
from
through, and again,
like
the camera stays alive,
Heretic.
repositioned a couple times directly above the door. I think we've seen it here before for sure.
They are trying to spam to find the tripwire top
While
mid.
they think they're robbing KC of information, they're absolutely not. KC are a step ahead. They know what control they've given up.
But the tripwires are actually already on B. Like,
start to ring. It's pretty clearly a B hit, but they're trading out the numbers.
they are gonna go
HP definitely does get worrying, but we
try
just saw
to infiltrate top mid.
Flash pulled into the arm of Narrate. He's going to use this to clear out market completely. Going to the side, in fact, fully committing, and he's caught Benji.
And he found
they
the
need to be quick if they
cipher.
want to capitalize on that space, and the problem is, if they're quick, they might just run into Miniboo. Plan still not found. A couple of seconds left to get this done. Mosh pit burned out of them. Good kill for Miniboo. He doesn't know there's a player up top.
What?
And that is awkward. And it gets there in the end. Showstopper for the spike. The round secures.
Showstopper on the Nico is
Benji Fishy get away with, and it's almost all
it's gonna get a
the time
weapon
is the
though.
only thing that saves
In case you
KC
lose,
from a
like,
possible
they've
blunder
lost
of
a
a
lot
round.
of weapons.
In the end, they'll even get Benji.
That's all right for.
And we are gonna see an infiltration top mid, like 100%. With the last 2 rounds, like the Sova sniping top mid, sniping the trip top mid, and then this round them spamming on the trip top mid. We are gonna 100% see, and it's an erratic. It's an erratic timeout. We are gonna see a push top mid from erratic. That like preparation and trying to bait people, see how they react and stuff.
True Miniboo round. It's coming eventually. I don't know when.
Well, they're gonna send
It
it.
always seems to have at least one.
I think as well, though, looking at KC, you can think on their attack, there's always going to be that round that is the light at the end of the tunnel. Being able to farm up those ultimates, play a super high impact. You've got your Viper's Pit, you've got your Showstopper, you've got Thrash. Those things can be so impactful if dumped into a round. For Team Heretics, it's not as easy to find that value. We saw Patatek's ultimate, it relies on them not being ready. For example, having Magnum repositioned, it was a retake on B, but that ultimate will get you onto site in the best of scenarios. But they used it to try and play the mind games, which didn't work out. It's not an ult that can punch through a site reliably, like some of the other ones in play for KC. But that's where Heretics should be making up for it in the round to round. The utility they've got in their belt hasn't been landing as much as we'd like to see. 2-round gap now, Viper's Pit used up, and this is a big headache for the attacking side. The control taken. I mean, even look at the fallback for this squad now. If they want to leave elbow straight through a pit, and that is a dangerous thing to do, especially with Magnum lurking.
I like where they've placed the trip though, because it at least allows them a chance to go back, because they'll know if somebody's pushed that far forward. The thing is the other utility that's in play, and now
they have to look back.
In that exact predicament. They either have to go forward or they have to go back past players. Magnum may be aware of the potential of them being in this position, but they haven't made a whole lot of noise. And almost just pausing here might actually start to put a few doubts in the minds of their opponent.
Well, you speak about that, yeah. You see the rotation no longer got Magnum in the pit covering the back. Instead, he's falling back, checking his cam, seeing there's no one on B, but they're now out of position a little bit on A. Narrate gives up the control. The post plant will be played for. The retake attempt, by the looks of it, is where KC want to rely on this round. It hasn't gone according to plan to start with, but they're not going to throw themselves at this and let it slip away. Hunter's Fury used, massive damage. He could get a kill. He could get 2. KC didn't need this now. A hero has to step it up, and it's Magnum or Shin. 11-9. And Carmine Corp have their back against the wall. Great flash. That might have brought them back in.
2v2 with the info.
Off the head to reveal these players. Rians and Benji, both known quantities now. It's KC's choice on how they want to approach this. Recon gone through, it's revealing them both. It's causing problems that Benji's capitalizing on.
It's
and with
over.
70 HP and a lot of time left against him. Magnum's out of here. 3 kills and a save call made. Team Heretics have put it 12-9. Now 1 away
And
from stealing
they
a
plan
match.
to
At
go
halftime,
top
looked
mid,
like it was
like,
in the
for
bag. It
sure.
almost jumped back
With
out.
that, like, repeated like play on the top mid trip.
I feel like he was better dressed yesterday.
But then they paused and they realized that the Viper had her ultimate, and they went for that play where they tried to deny her.
Like, there's no assists there. That's
with the Cypher Cam and stuff.
And although there was a nice attempt, solid paranoia through from Shin. It isn't quite going to be enough for them to take this round back. OT guaranteed, but the map not yet. It has been a bit of a break from the scoreboard for
they're gonna play,
and even now
without restraint. I feel
have
like
to go down to a Guardian, reserve cash only on Miniboo. Looking like they might pick up the pace here, Mitch, as they've headed right into the B site.
Well, yeah, the pace has been picked all the way up, and the idea here that the lurking support player can hopefully pick up a couple. He might just get some value for money, because remember, Heretics have been so good at running the clock down. Miniboo's going to try to take that opening duel, slide back. I don't even know how Benji's picked that one up. He's caught Magnum through a cage. And a big problem now, because they're going to be so focused on pushing forward, on dealing with these players, on recovering that rifle from Miniboo, and putting pressure onto the spike, because time is low. All the while, this slow rotation comes through from Patatek. It could have massive impact. If they can just run it down, it's already halfway. Stuck to half the sprays need to land, and okay, the player's being pulled off it. Now the flank from Patatek should secure the round. Rian's with a 2 versus 2, but time is of the essence for this squad, and they're down to the 1v1.
So,
Rian's with the reveal. He doesn't need a peek, it goes out. The time is low, but it's half already, but never mind. Not enough on the clock to get it done. Team Heretics 13-9. They haven't lost a map yet. And they won't here.
They're
2
interesting.
more to close out the grand final.
Yeah, it seems like KC might have just met their kryptonite. They're still struggling to get even close to this team, but we'll see if they can.
I don't know about kryptonite though, because the first 2 games they lost were 13-4 and 13-4, so losing like 13-9 after a 9-3 start. Pretty decent, especially when you consider that the last 2 rounds were like super close.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. But, in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle, you're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
No limits to my calling. Going straight to the top like I've been boarding. Taking the title like there are no rivals. Doing the eyes closed, give me a blindfold. This shit is easy, like a recital. I'm taking my shot like my hands on the rifle. Yeah. It's now or never. Yeah. It's now or never. Woo. It's now or never. Keep quiet, the queen's talking, keep walking. Couple of rings brought in lines choking. Give me a blindfold. This shit is easy, like a recital. I'm taking my shot, like my hands on the rifle. Yeah. It's now or never. Woo. It's now or never. Now or never. It's now or never. Now or never. It's now or never. It's now or never. Now or never. It's now or never. Now or never. Yeah. It's now or never. It's now or never. It's now or never.
Team Heretics, they continue their winning ways by taking the first map in this grand final best of 5. I'm your host Yingsu. I'm joined by Kakuka and Lothar, and also Mini Boo's warm-up routine as well. And my God, Kakuka, you can tell that he was really warmed up for that map.
Yeah, exactly. I think that also the rest of Heretics were playing very, very well with him, and it's probably one of the reasons why it came as such a surprise for K-Corp on the other side. It ended up being pretty, pretty close, especially for the result that we have seen in the past from Team Heretics against K-Corp, but it's definitely a good prediction for the rest of the day.
You know, it's funny because Team Heretics were playing in a way that you expect them to play because of the composition, setting up the neon and so on, but they literally, when they played against Na'Vi, they had to like cut it down a little bit because they weren't required to do that.
What the
Here,
fuck
when
is
they play
that
against
jacket,
KC,
man?
You see the proactiveness, you see how they essentially suffocate the opposition in a way that just
Like,
makes them play in a very
he's
small
the
portion of the
fucking,
map. And that was very indicative in this time.
He's the
Yeah,
fucking
and also, I mean, we
eater
said it
down
outright
in
that
the
this is
studio
final
or
boss
some
fight,
shit.
Mini Boo
Like,
versus Martine, who's going to come out on top. Last time it was Mini Boo when they played against each other, and today it feels like it is still Mini Boo.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that Lothar brings up a very important point. The way that the team is setting them up, how they're being proactive, even from the defense. If you're going up against this team and you do what they were doing in the defense in so many rounds to just push them and take a man down, many of those times Martin is going to be that man down because he's going to be spearheading the attack. So having that man down, I think that it gave them a lot of leverage. Also on the other side, a Benji Fisher that was way more active in the way that he was moving. Very good.
Yeah, I wanted to go back actually to Martin and how is he being isolated by the Team Heretics. Like every time they were doing an execute, Martin was not being traded. Something that I was praising yesterday before. Every time they were double peeking, trading the players, but not being able to do it on this map was really a big problem from KC. And very effective Team Heretics on the opening gambles. We have seen Mini Boo being set up by the KO flashes and by the one-way spokes from Omen. All of the support to make Mini Boo succeed were being set up for him. Very important also, in few rounds, Paridek had crucial timings on the daggers and on the ultimates to cut down Martin's like ultimate. The narrate ultimate was also being affected by that when he couldn't like do it again because of the KO like oppressiveness.
Yeah, and also Martin, yes, you guys were right, he was kind of being shut down. It feels like it's not just Mini Boo versus Martin, it's just like both teams are fighting those duelist players. But the thing
I
is,
personally
Martin was
prefer
also killing
the
Mini Boo
Team
in
Heretics
incredibly
team
crucial
comp.
moments and keeping his team within
Outside
reach
of the neon, but and the Sova,
I
guess.
Beautiful movement with Race. No news. No news to anybody.
I
guess I would rather have Fade Eyes
the difference that the Heretics had
than
starting off from the defense.
fucking
and
neon
Sova,
Sova, I
that
guess.
Sunset was a clear candidate to be not only.
But Sova KO is really good at hunting the enemy cipher.
I mean, I told them about this too yesterday, and they don't really care.
I think we need to remind the audience.
Yeah, but they don't think there's a curse. So every team we've shown that's eaten a banana behind the stage has lost.
So
100% a curse.
So we'll see what happens next, because we are going to talk about Lotus and Carmine Core. They took down Fnatic on Lotus, so surely a banana is not going to be able to stop them, Lothar.
And they play the very classic
like
comp on Lotus too.
hydrogen bomb and coughing baby maybe situation you hear. But
A flashless comp.
let's just hope
almost.
that Carmine Corp actually learned from how Team Heretics play this map, because Team Heretics are a very specific setup. They typically they typically play a 2-0-2 setup and one flex player going between A and B on defense. And very important that the B is a weak point for Team Heritage, something that you can pry on, something that
yeah, I mean, B is a weak point for every single team on fucking...
Yeah, it's reversed.
Right, no, I was thinking,
on
like,
fucking Lotus. It's such an annoying site to control.
Being super proactive, making Fnatic feel unease and feel under constant pressure. I think that it was beautiful, and they will play with a lot of balls, so they need to do it now.
Well, let's put
That's
the
why most
banana
people play
curse to
Viper,
the test
because
and see
you can just
Mitch
put
and
your
Tom if
wall
Carmichael can indeed overcome another huge
and
opponent.
Viper Killjoy, you can put your wall and your turret.
Well, a big task for them here.
For
Already
the
one map
defense.
down.
There's a
Moving on
banana
Heretics.
curse. I've just eaten a banana.
Oh, Tom, you've not done this to us. I think it might be more to do with
No joke.
player performance, Tom, than your.
Oh, I was always rubbish, so that's not going to affect anything.
Might make you better. A little boosted protein. Well, look.
Can't make me worse.
Well, the first map is Sunset, an improvement for Team Heretics.
And they are
also
both
for
playing their
OT
comp.
against Navi.
Like,
They made it look a little bit
Case,
cleaner this time, although there were struggles towards
Heretic,
the end. The signs of life
that's the
did start
comp
to
they
come into
played
effect
on their
for KC.
first game
See
against
if the attack
Foot.
side is bearing any better fruit for them here on Lotus. Remember, Heretics chose this map. That means Carmine Corp wanted to start on the attack side. Some hope as we see them mount a slower approach to the attack.
Well, last time out, when they played versus Fnatic, Thomasy was the man to watch. He's definitely my highlight here. 26-13 against a team that many coming into this tournament were considering the best team in the world. If he can have that same sort of performance again, maybe.
And we see the classic stack Viper Killjoy on A, with maybe some utility on B, like the turret and shit.
A lot to write home about for this Heretic squad. Same for KC though.
But
40
yeah.
seconds on the clock. Time to get moving and look at the angle for
Oh
Reyes.
my god.
Beautiful stuff as Narrate falls.
Finds
KC
Narrate.
also lost a lot of health on Shin. Space taking on Martin. He's closing the distance and starting to push towards their spawn. That is a gap right now. There's not players there. There is a rotate on its way from Miniboo. He's going to have 3 opponents around this corner. A tough battle with some support as well. There's the swing, and it's actually gone KC's way.
Wow.
They've tripled down on the
Good
kills.
pistols.
Miniboo falling alongside his teammates.
Like, between
This
the
has made it very
anti-eco,
difficult indeed.
like the
They're
eco round they
miles
won,
away, and
the
last one
second
standing with
pistol
10
they
health.
won, and this pistol,
A good start,
Like
a good
KC seems
resurgence, and a great
ahead.
pistol round coming out of KC.
in terms
Just
of
being able to
pistol,
reaggress,
which
that's
is
the main thing. I always
expected.
like it
Like,
when,
they are,
especially if you have a man down and the team
they are
look
a
like they
team
have a
of
plan
like
to actually bring
duelists
something
only
into the
that
next round.
like repair post.
Oh, wow.
There.
A lot of this came off the back of
You know.
Martin. Maybe
They are known
some
to be like
expectations
very,
starting to
very
build on the
highly
shoulders of some
skilled.
of these youngsters. Martin definitely is one of the names
Young,
we have to talk
hungry,
about.
and
He's up there
skilled
with the best of them.
player, so
Again, in the majority of the statistics,
very interesting.
especially the ones that matter. Well,
And we see
was
an
already one of your
outlaw,
favorite players, Mitch. Thomasy's got an outlaw.
Yes, he has.
And on a
With
Viper
which
the
is
Viper.
gonna,
I
it's
love
gonna
it.
condition
I need
Heretic
it. I want more of it. Benji fishing? Well, he's being caught out. And
to
with
focus
very
on
weak weapons in play and
heavy
no
armor,
shields, you know,
even
Snazzy
that
has
that
got an
means
operator essentially up
downgrading
against any of these players. It's one shot to the
their
body
weaponry
They need a couple
for the
shots
bonus round.
to fire back in return before any damage is done. I mean,
And a
Panatek's been
strong
hit by 6
anti-eco.
pieces of damage dealing Yuto. Just leave him alone. He was 10 HP before he saw anyone. And
No
Zero
plant,
finally
but
did.
I mean,
2-0
they've got
for
the
KC.
plant and
And a good
5-0.
start for this
So
squad, Tom. I'm happy to see it. Magnum already doing a lot better than
they
last
get the
time he
plant
faced
after.
Heretics
So
here. He's got a kill.
That is just rude. You could have been nice and been, oh look, they got an Andaluthia flawless. You could have gone with the positive.
I could have. I
And,
didn't.
and
Well, it is a positive. It is a positive.
Well,
He's not
it's
got
not,
0
it's
kills.
not positive bringing up the last game.
I'll say, because of the fact that he
and
played
with
against
this
Heretics,
small
got
armor
kills
for
and has bombed
Heretics,
out,
which is a
everybody was trying to
huge
play the violin
mistake,
for this squad.
in
And
my
then they found
opinion.
themselves
Like,
here. He had the
they
resurgence
can
to
get
his
farmed
top
by
rank in a lot of
that,
matches with this
that
roster.
outlaw. Like,
You know, I'm happy to bring up his lows because he's
we
had
saw
good
him.
times too.
Oh my god.
Martin. he had a real chance, but it's been torn
And
away.
Boo
Good
destroyed by
damage
the
in return, though.
Outlaw.
Weaker weapons, some at least for KC, but they're not making it look like it with even one-to-one trades, giving them access to the A site.
This is the thing, the three-man aggression, especially with KC pushing all in that direction, it gave them a 5v3 advantage, one of the best scenarios they could have kind of hoped for. And now they've managed to retrieve guns. This has gone from what was looking like a bonus round with an attempt to do damage to an opportunity to actually steal things away.
They both retreat to 3.
Benji,
They should open the door.
real
Nah,
utility.
they don't know where they're coming from, so...
Interesting haunt. I don't know. They're clearing their own positions. That we've seen the util catch up.
Nice.
The haunt maybe was just bait because instead the
Very nice stuff. Very close to go bad, but
and KC, they've got themselves a third round already.
very nice bonus.
Did you see the visible confusion where he looks at that haunt and goes, "Why is our haunt there?"
You know, everybody has a blunder every now and then.
Let's go, guys.
For now, right? Certainly not a blunder of a round. Gorgeous play. And it's even 5-4-3-2-1 on the kills on KC. They're making it look very clean. Incremental damage.
Yeah, and 0-3-0-3-3 on assists.
And we're seeing,
I'm really glad you pointed that out.
like, Heretics swapping their defensive setup. Oh, that TP
That's not where he
is...
meant to TP.
No,
That's a tense TP. That's a...
weaker weapons to try and recover with, and well, the players aren't rotated in either. Miniboo's pretty much alone here. Maybe Rian's will be able to help out, but that ult is not going to be used up. We're relying on the Sheriff and the Spectre doing a lot of damage. Maybe a Dizzy to help.
Yeah, they need to find quite a bit more before they throw out the Thrash.
And they know.
Yeah, with everything being so weak, the passive...
If you
already
just
being
speak...
held. The Poison Orb from Thomasy as well. There's not really an avenue back in. They're going to have to just try and clear this utility out, and that might just do it. He's going to have to go
Oh my
aggressive.
god.
Well, that's not gone well at all.
And that's
for the
again
Viper.
too.
Dizzy is perfect. They're left so blind. Somehow this is actually starting to become viable for Heretics, leaving just Magnum standing to try and turn this back. And he's been caught by the ultimate. I said they need to do a lot for them to throw out the Thrash. They did a lot.
Hush is really good at clearing
You see those signs
that
of life
freaking site.
start to come back on the board, and you just say, hey, whatever, we'll throw it all out there. One on the board for Heretics. A battle back that, to be honest, you know, I sort of came into this round expecting a decent bit of damage for Heretics. They've been
so
good with weaker weapons. I didn't expect them to just dominate like this. Floating back into the site.
What a strong round
It's
for
scary
Heretic.
if you're KC, because you just need a little bit of a snowball. They brought their own.
Can the drummer come to the arena?
Bring him in. Maybe he'll be there in Madrid.
That would probably upset every single sound guy in the building, but I'm not the sound guy.
I don't have to deal with that problem, so I don't care. KC are going quickly towards C. It seems like they've seen a lot of presence on A. Gamble, this is the weaker side, or maybe just
And
want
they
to limit
find
test
that
it.
Killjoy.
Straight in, showstopper in hand, and well, it looks like Team Heretics have done a good job for the most part.
know,
They've fallen
but-
way back, giving up this control, but
Set up.
you know, he doesn't get a kill with the rocket launcher. It doesn't mean it's not a success. At the end of the day, they've taken the site, they've got a post plant, and the clock is now very much in their favor on the side of KC.
And they are playing very in the
Looking
side,
at that
like
game
nobody's
utility, so
outside.
useful when it
The
comes
plant
into these
is
retakes.
deep.
A lot that they can use to try and
Like,
clear the backlines. It doesn't even need it. He's
they're
just
gonna hold
spam
that
back
side
through.
for
Snakebite
forever.
thrown in, Nightfall on the other side. Just try and hold them back a little bit more. Martin in a proactive position has managed to keep things in their
Miniboo
favor,
runs
and
to
the
his
Raid will confirm it,
suicide.
leaving
to his
just
death.
Rian's left to try and fight 1 versus 4.
And
He
now
got the
they
first kill. It
know.
would have to be an ace. And
And
this
it's
time the Hawks are in a
Strover.
perfect position to reveal him. Narrate tearing them a new one, 4-1. KC starting to, well, create themselves a bit of a lead.
I feel like Narrate's having such a good time. I do wonder how the IGLing's working for him, if being on this role where Magnum is taking a lot of that responsibility is just freeing him up to focus a lot more on his own gameplay, because he's looked stellar here in EMEA, going pound for pound, toe-to-toe with some of the best out there. And with
And we have a
Martin and
Heretic
Tomasi alongside him,
timeout.
this roster on KC just looks terrifying. 4-1 in the lead. And Heretics call a pause. They don't want to let this one get out of hand too early.
Well, that is the thing I think that's excited me most with this season is these are the 2 rosters that I think took the most risks. Like, you've gone for very, very young players, ones that you don't know. Will they thrive on the stage? Will they even be up to the potential once they start facing against better opposition? Even with, again, bringing players back who have gone to Tier 2, are they going to still be at the same level that you need them to be? And for both these teams, that has paid off in dividends. It's been the static non-changers, the non-risk takers that have fallen flat in this kickoff event. Now, maybe that's a blip. Maybe they'll come back stronger. Maybe teams will make changes.
Yeah,
Who
maybe
knows?
teams are starting to look at that Tier 2 scene right now and thinking, who else can we bring
The Twitter leakers are already like rubbing their hands together.
It's coming. It's coming. Now, as we get back into the game, the
And we have an
Odin
Odin
we've got a
on
big
Magnum.
boy in hand.
And Boo is
wants to use
0-5.
the big gun, the Odin, to
That's
spaz
a,
the big boy.
that's a rough start.
Your pick, Tom. Okay. Dealer's choice. For KC, their attempt to wallbang right away, denied his controls, stop any aggression that Team Heretics have gone for in the last couple rounds up towards A main. But we can see it's a much more passive setup. They've actually got Benji Fishy here, who's been a stellar anchor, and 3 players have rotated into position to back him up. Lots of rifles here for Team Heretics, and a much tougher take than I think KC are ready for.
U2. Brienz is just tagged down. They've got the players there, but they've been tagged
And that
up all the
pick
way in
is...
this battle. Yes, there's a lot
Oh,
of
that flash!
stuck in the corner.
But he's in close range, so...
Able to isolate the angle, but the trades come back thick and fast.
And the fucking Odin push.
Just 2 remaining. Nice work from Brienz, but there shouldn't be too much more. Patatek, though, has brought this back into a winnable position. Gonna try and make his way down. That will have been hard, and they're gonna peek him together. KC, they walk into the Lion's Den, and they come out victorious.
Very well handled. With so many players there, I wasn't too confident. And, well, I'll tell you who was. Magnum. Because he came swinging around here with the Odin and then went up the rope to take another fight. I mean, it's rare that you see a player steam up the rope with an Odin in hand and take a CQB fight, but...
Has we been watching your matchmaking games?
Problem is, you know, in my matchmaking games, I don't have Mini-Boo, Patatek, Riaz, all these guys on the other side.
I feel like the drum was signed by so many different bits. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
I'm gonna start bringing a drum everywhere.
This could get a little dangerous. Mini-Boo's already tagged up a little bit. And on the fallback, he's jumped over the bullets. So mostly the decay that's taken his health away. That'll heal back up. Pistols, for the most part, Rienz has pulled out a Marshall.
And we
Again,
still
it's gonna be
see
very difficult to
the
get the value out of this
Killjoy
because Viper's Wall and
Viper
we just saw
on
that
C.
smoke has bloomed up. So you don't get that long-range vision to try to fight with. Maybe because they're on pistols, KC would have that gap.
And that's a little bit of the problem with Killjoy in this map, compared to another triple site map like Heaven, is that
read on the game. Benji spotted a man up close. He's done a lot of damage. Actually wallbangs Martin. And a reswing
oh
from
wow,
Shit, that's risky.
you don't have the range for your utility.
Giving that lockdown over to Benji is going to force the players out almost completely, and look where it's forcing them to. There are a couple of players waiting on the other side. The poison orb will help them, but the stun leaves them completely in the dark. Somehow, though, it's actually going to be Mini-Boo to go down first, leaving this back into a 2v4. Narrate does well. And he's actually got so much information. He's halved them in terms of the HP, but so is the spike. Both now, Lord, through the smoke he goes.
And that fucking Odin, that pushes again.
6-1 now in the lead for KC.
Oh, well, without the Odin, there's no telling if that would have went Magnum's
Do we have
way.
a timeout?
Entirely down to the
No.
hardware brought to bear. Really nice stuff, and I think Benji Fishy grabbing that kill. I can't even fault the player on the other side. He just wall bangs you with a Guardian. That one, though, again, I feel like Magnum is playing the Odin in such an unhinged way. He's going to go running through a Viper's wall to take fights, up ropes to take CQB battles. I just love watching this guy play. He's entertaining, to say the least. The damage as well to start this one off.
He sees him. Oh, it's done.
Not for long. Shin's quick to deal with Mini-Boo, and that's opening duels completely.
And those spams are like heavily KC favor.
They keep trying it again and again because they don't want to allow that control, but we haven't really seen.
They don't have the tools to take that space. They don't have the fades. They don't have the haze. Like Neon, it's cool and shit, but the haze utility.
Needed a miracle. The double peak plus the TP, the chance of him connecting all those shots were slim to none. And
the jump peak with an Odin.
You know what I mean?
Like
It's It's been unhinged so far, but the jump peek into crouch spray? Wait, what the? He's doing this for me, isn't he? This is all about me. I love it. I'm going to give Magnum the biggest hug after this game, regardless.
And
so
a big answer for
7-1 in the
for
lead.
KC
You know what I mean?
after the first game where they lose the first half
yes.
9-3.
Perfect. So
They
another
managed
one was
to
fine, but I don't think it mattered.
to
I
come
don't think
back
we'd be able to react
You don't think you
fast enough
predict
to
that?
39. They lose 39, but
where you just look at him do it like.
now they are in the lead and
Well,
they're just taking it. And we see the swap of setup. They have to put that Viper Killjoy back on A. That's their only solution.
On the attacking side, but they've got to get into position to use it. Patatech.
And we see a huge push from behind. They are trying to. They know, they are spotted. They know.
Otherwise, it's just Magnum in every position. Miniboo trying to go through. Well, it's
And he knows about like the last two players, so
at this stage, round looking over.
they're gonna give up that Odin.
And Odin to be picked up. Maybe they can try and go jump peeking into some angles, but
They're just gonna wait on site.
Can truly hope to
Force
find.
them to clear all the angles and shit.
Try some counter spams of your own, because right now any sort of aggression that they've had has been a
And we
failure.
see an early
They're gonna try this
wingman.
Yeah, they really are committing. It's not looking too good. It's not looking probable, and it's now getting to the possible point. Oh no! The raid almost had him. If he was tagged, it would have been something ugly. And of course,
And
in
the
end,
Odin pickup.
you might not have seen it, but that Odin did get saved over. It's going to be in the next round. Attack side Odin 8-1 for KC, and Magnum. He's just looking stellar. Now I know Lothar is going to have a bit of a panic attack about the next fight Magnum took because he's crouching against the Sheriff, but I'll give him a little bit of a break because he did have the Odin.
Yeah, it's heavy. You gotta sit down.
Absolutely, you got to brace yourself. And as you can see, ult economy, it's in a pretty decent spot. Both teams have got their upsides to it, but for Team Heretics, the downside is they ain't been winning rounds for quite a while. They're gonna have to pull something out of the bag or the barrel.
Oh!
Not the
They
greatest of
found the
starts.
Killjoy!
Yeah, once again, just
Her utility is gone.
probably aiming at
And they're
Patatech.
gonna go main.
Find
Like,
Benji instead. Shin,
they
you can
know
just see
the Viper
confidence.
is
It's just
3
all the way
and
around.
Shin is going
Patatech is completely
enter.
unaware, maybe expecting the cover to be there from his teammates. Just gets caught out. Everything we sort of wrote home about in the last map seems to have just disappeared. Heretics really struggling right now, but
Miniboo stepping up.
Turn things. As you said, spike on the ground.
Spike on the ground, lockdown and pit to recover. The flank, though, might be something. That smoke has blocked off the alarm bot. Creeping by here, a nice play by Boo. The timing is going to be tough for him, though, because that door is closed, and you won't be able to creep up behind them in quite the same way. And obviously, they're worried about this angle that goes towards the steps, because players could come from anywhere around here.
And
So
now they
the
know.
surprise element taken out of it. It was a nice attempt by Boo, but not one that will find value now that he's known. They look for Mini Boo and get him. One kill onto Magnum, the jumping Odin not working this time. They have a lot to fall back on and taking out the brother Boo. The showstopper, the first thing fired.
Oh, and they
Well,
think
looks like
he's
Boo's
3.
going to avoid that successfully. Again, though, this is more so being used for KC to control the site, to see where this player can be pretty much for free, because if they see him, just fire the rocket rounds done anyways. And now they've got a good after plant to sit in, to run this clock down.
And they
make it
know.
next to impossible for Boo. He has to find
They have the
both
nade
players,
still,
kill both
like-
players, or just defuse. The nade will force him off to start, but now, not a bad idea. Going for the fight, but it doesn't go his way. KC play that one pretty perfectly in the 2vx, and we go 9-1. This is disgusting. That's absolutely filthy. Your Sentinel goes down because of a spam, and Shin grabs the second kill by just TPing into sight. That's a disaster.
Another Heretics pause, but at this point, it's so far gone in this first half. You're just hoping that you can potentially turn things around. Bear in mind,
And we have another
last time they
timeout.
played, it was a 4-1 attack side start for the side of KC. They lost 13-4. So
Is
was
it an
12 rounds in a
Heretic
row.
one?
we know that it can be done. And it was a very clean attack from Heretics, but we didn't see much of it because of how clean that first half was. So And looking like a completely different ball game. Looking like the changes that have been made by KC. And that's the thing. I feel like Heretics have looked good this entire tournament. KC have been growing all the way through, getting better and better and better. And even in the final, going into that first map, kind of getting battered for the majority of it. Having a decent comeback, and now in map 2, they look like a different beast. On a map that they really struggled on before, a map that their opponents felt comfortable to choose against them, even though they played it once already. And right now, we're looking to see if Heretics, Neil, Zenio, Weber, they can pull something out of the bag to at least give them a fighting chance in that second half.
Well, if not, we'll just be resetting this into the BO3 that it could be, that it was once long ago. For KC on the attack, no signs of slowing, but ults on the other side. Thrash and Viper's Pit to work with, and immediate aggression. They're running it down, and Miniboo has surprised Shin, to say the least. Good stun, good spam, and another for Rienz. An absolute showstopper of a round from this man, as it's now 3v2. Heretics have the advantage, but Miniboo's trapped. He's alone, he's isolated, Snakebite on his feet, no way out. We're back to
and Viper Killjoy versus Viper Killjoy with a pit for each, but no weapon.
Both sides, a mirror matchup for our 2v2.
Yeah, the problem is, where does a defensive side Viper's Pit come into play here? You'd almost just expect the attackers to avoid it. They'll know that there's one player locked in, maybe in a retake, if it's in the right place. They are. Both players heading in the right direction now. I feel like for obvious reasons, KC have had so much success on A. They're continuing in this direction. Both players about to meet. The weapons on one side, and it will be the trade out from Tamazi again. A chance, some hope for Heretics in a round that really shouldn't have had that much expectations. Doesn't matter though.
No, it's snatched from their hands again. You have to command that early aggression by Miniboo. This from Rienz, absolutely gorgeous. A good spam, a good follow-up onto a player, blast packing. But again, you just don't see that escapability. You're on the defensive side. They had their whole squad there. You didn't, right? If you did, you're throwing. It's a big map. You got to have coverage. 10-1 with 1 round left to compete for in the half. Heretics, as we said, have been flawless so far. They haven't dropped a map.
See you later.
But it's looking like that streak is about to come to an end. As another kill goes to KC. Now they've got Rienz trapped behind the wall. But they're not even quick to go for it. This is not a team that...
I mean, he found the Viper, he found the big ultimate for KC.
Gorgeous. They make sure that a paranoia
but it's already over.
Go through at the same time. He can't even see the thing that's about to make him even more blind. Perfect stuff from KC, and the fact is, I love the way that their players reacted when I think somebody at least got caught by the Thrash. Their response, 2 players swing immediately. Make sure there's no easy fight for the side of Heretics. Benji now, it's been a different look for him. A quieter game, a 1v4.
Possible.
It seems it, and he's not even going to make it past the 1. It's going to be 11-1, one of the most dominant halves we've seen, and it's in our grand final. Heretics are going to have one hell of an attack.
Yeah, what a time for this to happen as well. After
and I remember, like, KC
on the first map,
has
Heretics
better pistols.
Down to a point
like,
that, well, they haven't even gotten started here. A quick shutdown from KC in half 1. A single round acquired by Team Heretics. And now the chance to close this out and swiftly move on to Icebox. KC's next map up, their pick. They'll be going in there with a lot of confidence if Heretics can't
another Viper Killjoy might.
It's scary for either side though, because that map in particular,
probably the only one. Unless you play Viper on Ascent, but
considering how many matches KC
Ascent is banned, so we won't see it.
But as you mentioned, they're the ones bringing it to the table. The first half was pretty much not all A. I think we had at least 1, maybe 2 plants on C and B, but it was mostly A. And we're not too surprised that after an initial fight towards the C site, Heretics going back to A.
A little above.
He's hit
he saw him.
Oh, 34.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Straight through. You know, for Heretics, the read is correct, at least in the early round. KC had some aggression up on C main.
Look away. Look at where the flash is. It's how it's stuck in the corner of the map.
Suboptimal. I think KC have done a great job with the early stack on C, with the rotate after, good information. They're primed for a retake on A. I don't think they can get there on time to stop this. Certainly doesn't look like it. Wingman just being used to clear out the angles. The nade, it's going to be late, but the C's... Oh, it's not a C's. In fact, it's just a haunt. The reveal thrown through. Doesn't get them anything. Martin goes down for his trouble, and Heretics might have a way in.
Yeah, this is one of the better looking rounds, but Narrate just so quick to it. Already removing Mini Boot. Shin has found another, but then a flurry of frags come through on the other side, leaving just Shin remaining. He'd have to pull off a miracle, and they already have an orb on it. For him to even try and survive this would be difficult. He's hoping that maybe someone gets overzealous, makes a mistake, but you can see how patient it is, and Benji's even going to land the shot.
Good shot.
A round finally onto the board for Heretics, but it's, yeah, I'm not getting excited yet.
No, I think that's understandable, Tom. It's been a while.
Can't hear Uli anymore.
Oh, he's gone quiet again, has he?
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
Wonder why.
Nice. Let's see if he can pull out some of his French to close this one, because he might need it. It's only 2 rounds left for KC to put it across the line, and Eco here. And I expect him to play a pretty weak Eco. Get this round over with, and then fight in for the next. But when I look at the map, very spread out. Some utility in play. Early presence on A, util there, and rotations. This seems like they want to bait Heretics into a play, because they're going to stack up one side of the map and hope their early presence is enough to deter any sort of aggression from that attacking side. It might be right.
No, we see the Killjoy on control.
Boots in the mud, waiting for a push, waiting for a sign. That sign won't come through by the looks of it. So they're gonna have to
just gonna take the orbs and bait
can clear the backside
and fake.
Quite easily.
See.
Dizzy gets them a little bit of information, but not too much.
Another good shot.
It's gone wandering. Benji will take that all day long. And this actually leaves them with a lot more doubt of where this push might actually be coming from. Again, it's a double back on towards that A site hold. Come on, with the door being opened, they at least know somebody's there. But you can see 2 players still haven't moved from the C site. I think that 1 kill has just delayed this rotation by so much. And when you have such limited weapons,
farming that
we
Gecko
really hope for is a
ultimate.
stack.
I like their Viper Wall this round just to keep those battles a little bit more close quarters. Hello! Harry's just running.
Oh,
close! He got
close.
a weapon. Almost got it ready into fighting state. Could be very scary. In the end, it looks like impact will be negligible. Just a couple players left. Weaker weapons in hand and no potential to cause that damage.
That was
pretty comfortable
close.
position
It could have gone like
in this round.
very sketchy.
But not in the game. 11-3, a long road to recovery.
Yeah, we're going to need a board all of red if Heretics are going to turn this back. And you'd almost have to assume that some of the players on the other side would have to go missing. Now, there are rifles for the majority of Heretics, so it's not like this is too bad a bonus. So you can't really afford to just keep SMGs and other stuff in play. It's not going to work out for you.
I don't think they are playing a bonus. Like,
They are going to go...
they're not gonna have
Might
enough
some of those
money
extra
for next
weapons.
round
Shin again,
if they don't
trying
win
to get a
that
little bit
round.
cheeky around this C site, but I'm liking the utility that's been.
They're gonna have to
early.
force.
Just
At
him back on
11,
the angle.
like, you have
In
to
the meantime,
force
though,
every round.
Bit of a push up.
And Boo already in place.
They're going to walk right into him. Do you even check this corner? By the looks of it, they were hoping to. It's cost them a lot. Magnum down. And the rotates from Team Heretics. It seemed like there was a quick movement from Mini Boo, but the call was a little delayed. Eventually, they decide that, yeah, it's the right play. Back towards the part of the map where that battle occurred. Back towards what we can see.
And he
is
saw
just
them.
one defender. Tamazi falling back. Good information. Wall up to... wall up from that defensive side, indeed, causing problems. It's a little deeper than before, but this is a more normal position for B walkout. And to slow them down on the A approach. Will allow those rotates to come through potentially, but as we can see, there's a lot of
And
pressure
he has
still
the
around B.
trash.
It looks like KC are expecting them to double back through the door, having seen all this utility, but the stopping power isn't enough. They're already through. This is good because Tamazi steps through it, but Miniboo's waiting on the other side. 4 versus 3, and plan secured.
And in the last match, they were able to really rely
They are
on the
losing
individual
these
ability
like
of Tamazi.
duels like
But this time he's
by
isolated.
nothing.
This time he's taken out, and all 4 players back towards Tree, needing a bit of a reposition, wary that there could still be players coming in from behind. Boo is actually going to be trapped out here, and because of that, he's isolated, left on his own. Instead, they're at least going to catch one detained, and it will be killed off. That rotation still coming in, though, from behind. It's left all onto Miniboo. A chance still to save them. He might be able to kill the planter before he defuses. Not expected to be there so fast. And now Martin is trying exactly the same. Still hasn't managed to get him far enough, and he's going to swing out all the way.
No time?
Knowing that there's not enough time left on the clock.
Fuck.
It will be 3 for Martin, but the round to Heretics.
I mean, the Heretics economy is they have to go into...
Sorry, I don't know if the English stream can hear. I just hear Uli screaming, Quattro, Quattro. They got 4 rounds, I'll tell you, the Spanish fans are excited to hear that as well. But yeah, quite a road back. I think I'm leaning more towards the French side on this one. But for Miniboo, he did well, he danced around it, handled that situation well. And in this kind of series, it isn't even about this map. The more rounds Heretics can put up, the more they can feel like they just weren't activated in the first half, but that this series is still there.
Kickoff is
Going
in
back into a
equal.
reset, 1-to-1 scoreline.
They still have
3
one
maps to play
iPhone.
for. Could be worth its weight in gold. Get warmed up here.
It's looking a bit more pacey. They only just scraped through with a Red Bull clutch in the last round, but now we're looking at them really looking to steamroll their way into the side. Now he has been caught by the vulnerability.
Oh
It
my
doesn't seem to matter for
fucking
Miniboo.
god, man.
Just running forward, and that might be the doom of them. The death of them even, as now Narrate has managed to find a couple. He's still there with the Nightfall. He's going to make things a little bit more awkward. Finds a 3rd kill in the round and leaves it on to Benji. He has an idea of where both players are, but left blind by the paranoia. Falling back to the site. Now he still has a lot of time to play with. He doesn't actually need to commit in this direction, and it seems like
He heard him,
he's
TP.
realized it. Now the problem here is, although
They,
he'll get himself an afterplant, Mitch, he is going to get Shin a gun.
But hold on. He's not looking for the afterplan. He faked the door open. They think he's on B, but then he swings through. 7 HP. Shin's got the rifle now, though. 1 bullet, 1 spray, and it will land.
30 seconds left.
But he can't get out. He can't cross the B. That angle's being held by Shin.
Oh my fucking god, man!
Red Bull clutch. Heretics are
That's the fucking 3rd one, like, holy fuck, change something,
I
man.
believe he's managed to pull that one off. He's a
It's the
genius.
3rd one he gets one tapped by
Thought that was
fucking
great. And the
Benji
thing is,
Fishy.
to sprint into a site up against a team with
This,
quick
this
weapons
fucking
and
half,
through a snake bite,
like-
it was really risky for the side of Heretics. The heroes on Heretics rising to the occasion with 4 rounds in a row. They've definitely been up there when it
We have a
comes to the
KC
clutches.
timeout.
3 players within the top 8 in terms of clutches. Miniboo, Benji, and Paddy are the ones that we're talking about. But that was truly absurd.
Absolutely. Down to 7 health as well. That recovered rifle on Shin did not matter. And I love how he mechanically chops that up as well. Realizing, okay, let him make a move. He doesn't. So Benji realizes, I'll take it 1 pixel at a time.
How's he ever going to come over from that other game? I just don't think he's going to be able to do it, you know?
Yeah, no, you can't quite match the level. And that's something that, honestly, I love Benji Fishy from the second I met this guy and asked him, when are you coming? When are you coming to tier 1? And he told us, I'm not interested in jumping straight in and using my socials or anything like that. I want to play tier 2. I want to get good at the game, and I'll play VCT when I'm ready. Well,
He's 19 now, by the way.
He's pretty ready
So, 19 years
and
old now.
also very worth saying, that was coming from, what was he, 18? Maybe still 17 at the time?
Maybe, yeah.
And had come off the back of a huge career in Fortnite. Like, for that guy to have that kind of mentality alone, that's a winner's mentality. And he's got the wins now to back it up. Already locked into an international event. Big clutch in the previous round. But as we said, so much more to be done. Still a 6-round gap in KC. They only need one round to go their way, and they're guaranteed at least the OT.
That's the thing. This is a huge confidence booster. It's definitely something that has shaken KC. You see the pause called by Eng just to maybe try and settle things a little bit, because they could have closed this game by now. We've had a couple of clutches that have gone the way of Heretics over the last couple of rounds. And the fact is, the more that they start to build into this game, the scarier they are. I will say for Heretics, though, if they are going to bring this back, they need some cleaner rounds. Like, just winning everything in clutches,
7 HP clutches?
Yeah, it can only go so far.
Dude, that's 6 times in a row, no worries.
They still wouldn't have won.
6 more times in a row. Tie it up. Well, this attack side, you can take a look at the ultis available, and, well, I don't know about Boo, but Mini Boo is damn dangerous when he pops his.
Dangerous when he doesn't.
He's just dangerous. Man is just dangerous.
30 seconds left.
Now, I don't know if... I think they're aware of the turret covering the B cross out, but their eyes are firmly set on this A side. Heretics want to take control. Utility to clear the first corner, Mini Boo to clear the second. He's gone deep to take these fights. The smokes blocking them off for now, but the plan secured. He doesn't need to stay aggressive.
I'm surprised nothing has gone into this corner. One of the spots you almost always clear. Narrate has started things off well. The double peek, Sublime, and finally a snakebite goes into the corner of Tomazi, but it seems like the damage has already been done. Needing to try and find something in this post plant. Panitek is low on HP. The paranoia is good, but he manages to get one.
1 HP, man.
Across isn't quite connecting. Even still, the Tomazi now low. They peeked in onto him. Boo looking for the battle, trying to find something back into this one, trying to buy a little bit of extra time for Benji, and this time I don't think it's going to be enough.
No time.
Ticking away.
No.
I don't know if they're actually going to have this. It's
They have it. I mean,
close. Looking like just about half a second is all that's in it for KC. And well, the one time the clutch doesn't go Heretics' way, and they're on the back foot.
That's what we said, though, right? KC just needed the 1 round, and now with that secured, 7 chances to close out this map, to put us 1-1, to ruin anyone's 3-0 predictions. Sorry, Uli. And I think with how things have gone, it seems almost impossible that they don't find that. Narrate is playing a fade. He has 10 assists.
Yeah, he's insane.
He has 10 deaths, and he has 25 kills. That is an outrageously good performance, and we complimented him last map, but this is just next level.
And I was gonna say, we haven't seen KC play super aggressive. And now that they are like at 12 round, now they are playing, they are free. The exact same thing with Heretics last map.
Average damage per round, he's up there. And the rest of the players, the duelists. Either way. With the man advantage, still some weaker weapons for either side. Showstopper is going to go in.
Good night.
Oh, no, it doesn't actually do too much, and the plant is going to go down. Now the lockdown will buy that extra little bit of time for them to try and play with. We know that KC have been solid in these retake scenarios, and that's what they're going to build up for.
Yeah, but no satchel, no nothing.
If they keep using the Odin like this,
it's going to be hard to explode on site.
So much damage. We know Magnum's capable with it, but he's got the stinger in this round. Round goes Martin for his first Magnum
and
on the
it's
stinger.
over.
In comes the snake bites, but it might be too little too late. A whole squad to take down, and they're coming. Blitzing into the angle, losing every fight. HP is low, Magnum's decayed. He's only got 1 health. The snake bite was on the site. It's only Benji Fishy left, and he'll get 1.
Yeah, they don't have time.
He has time, no?
KC will not close
no
out
time.
Here despite a scrappy duel.
Wow.
But they've got 6 more chances after that Red Bull clutch.
Yeah, it's the second time the spike has.
And this is why Gecko is so strong, man.
As I said, the last round was down
because you
to
can just
0.5.
put your shit on the spike and it's going away.
The problem is, the Heretics are winning all of these rounds with 0, 1, and maybe maximum of 2 players surviving in all of them. It means that they never really have any finances to play with. Luckily, neither do their opponents after a 1 and done, and all of the ults really are stacked up for the side of Heretics to play with. Miniboo, he's not going to have a rifle, but he is going to have the overdrive. Or lightning fingers, as many of you may know it.
Finger guns.
Finger guns.
That's the one. A laser.
A few other names that I'm not going to say.
Nope. No, we'll keep it at that. Magnum, well
that's
done.
a weapon.
The only rifle they have.
Patatek's own wall as well that he had to cross through. Clearly didn't expect
and
him to be that
good luck,
aggressive.
Viper.
As the one rifle turns to two, Narrate's picked one up, and KC are ready for the retake. Avoiding Thrash, but only for now.
Luckily, they've got there.
And they have to push to allow
it's not
the pickup of
already lockdown is actually going to be used to try and clear them out of mound. The goal is not to try and get them anywhere near the spike. They'll be able to stick onto it. Miniboo's just spammed. Almost gets caught out by the... Oh, it doesn't matter though. His brother's there to defend him. Thrash being utilized for the second time, and Narrate is stuck in the mud. Instantly dead. And Shin, well, they invested quite a bit into this round. They managed to get themselves a kill, use a lockdown even. All he's hoping for is to maybe put a second body on the pile.
It's gonna get stormed. Oh no.
He's done that at least. The first is found.
Could just take the gun.
Take the gun and run. That's the play. He's out. I have to say, very good read from Team Heretics on this round. I feel like they perfectly read how that was going to be played. You're avoiding a lot of the utility, not just the lockdown, but also the nightmare that was thrown towards them.
What the fuck was that?
That nightfall caught a couple of them up close, but the main idea was the sight squeeze that they were pushing on. And, well, Team Heretics were way ahead of it, able to fight into the spawn, able to cause a lot of headaches for the retaking defender side. And they didn't burn up all their ultimates either. Still a Viper's Pit to work with, and Miniboo's got those finger guns. So all in all, not a terrible round. 5 in a row needed. Look, it's getting to the point now where it is possible. It's unlikely still,
I'm sorry,
but
Heretics.
It's possible.
Mitchman started to believe. Maybe a little bit too early. Instant.
Oh, and then that Omen is gonna be a counter.
Just gonna be locking down that C site.
They're gonna go back to
Aggression
B.
as well from Shin to take control over A. Maybe hoping to funnel them back. No, they're actually trying to go through this. Miniboo's already got rid of Tomasi. That shouldn't have been so easy. Magnum waiting, needs more than one, and he isn't gonna get it. This round is not going the way it was supposed to with the Viper's Pit, but the trades come back thick and fast, leaving.
Oh wow, what a shot.
To do damage. The nade onto the site is going to make things awkward as well. The plant still not coming through. Not even a minute gone on the clock just yet. Shin's actually wary that they're going to try and push and reposition and plant somewhere else instead.
Yeah, and they're looking to get out of the site.
Towards the mound.
It's the right call with the player that was there not long ago. But I love the idea from Martin to go back to Shin, group up, and approach this round in a 2v2 no matter where they go. Maybe they can even catch someone from Heretics off guard, or just in a 1v2. Trade at worst.
30 seconds left.
Quick rotations in play. Miniboo's speeding his way towards A.
Why are they going back to C?
And it doesn't look like they'll have any
It's not
impact. They'll be
planted.
faded away
They saw it on the map.
Any of these players are close enough to use it on. With the door open and seen and heard, KC at least know where it's going down. But taking this fight will be something else.
Careful here.
With a little bit of low HP, I think he'll want the instant headshot anyway. Now they are playing this one separately. It means Rians needs an insta-kill and he's not going to get it. For KC now a chance. Another clutch needed. Miniboo's position might not be expected. Smoke going down, but the drop...
They heard him.
They're already onto the defuse, sticking it pretty much all of the way, halfway done. That's all they really needed, and Shin will be...
What a trash round.
It is going to be that third team round on the board.
Poetics.
A third map.
Like, what a weird round. And a weird way to play, like,
well handled for the
that post plant.
13-7. One-upping their opponents of Heretics, finding their opponent's map pick, and Icebox up next. Like you said, Tom, a lot of unknowns there. But it's time to quantify.
Do we have
We've got an
Icebox
analyst
record?
desk to do that, and they'll be back after this.
We don't. Wait, KC never played Icebox, did they? They were supposed to play Icebox against Koi, but it was the third map. But outside of that, they haven't played Icebox.
Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso.
Interesting.
Don't ask about Lola. Caballo Grande.
And same for Heretics, they were supposed to play Icebox against Foot, but they won 2-0
Don't say I didn't
in their opening matches.
Careful of the Andalusian crush.
So we have no info on the comps.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle.
But we can
You're
expect
gonna be able to fight this.
Killjoy, Viper, Omen. Do people play Omen on Icebox? Man. Oh no, they just play single Viper. I mean, Koi played Viper Harbor. Liquid played a single Viper. People don't play Icebox. Liquid played another single Viper. And they play Sage and Killjoy. Viper, Sage, Killjoy. Wow. And we have a Yo for Koi. With the Arbor and the Viper. I think we're gonna see probably a classic comp like Viper, Killjoy, Sova, KO maybe. KO and Jet. KO is definitely the pick you change first. But the thing is, he heals your flashes, so... Yeah, that would be my comp, like... Viper, Jet, Killjoy, Sova, KO. I think that's what like Sen played and stuff like that, so you got a huge amount of info. You don't have the wall from the Sage, but I'm gonna check what's NA playing. We've seen some Gecko too instead of a KO from Undratives. We saw a Reina too, yeah, for Leviathan. And an Arbor. Yeah, teams that play double smoker play the Arbor, I guess. It's either Viper solo or Viper Arbor. I don't think Sen played. Icebox is not a popular map, like... It's either a decider map that's not played or... We saw Brim, yeah, the Evil Genius G2 fucking Brim. The Brim lost, cause it's a trash pick. Like, they pick Brim instead of a KO, man. And then Evil Genius is played with the Deadlock. They play Deadlock, Killjoy, they play no duelist. Wow. Like, Chamber I would understand, because it's like... It's a more static jet I guess. And... wow. Those narratives are very... freaking crazy, man.
The curse of the banana has been lifted. after that K-Core win. Of course, if you guys don't know, every team that's been eating a banana backstage has lost their map. So I thought I would go and confiscate all of the bananas so it doesn't happen again. But it seems like Kakuka and Lothar, I didn't need to do that.
Yeah, exactly. All that work you
for
left
nothing.
I didn't know where you went for like half an hour.
How about we talk about the game?
Those bananas were very tactically placed.
Yeah.
Like how the teams were managing that.
I think it must have been Martin, as you can see. He was eating the banana before this map, but they've broken the curse. K-Core, it seems like nothing can really stop them on Lotus. And we heard from N yesterday, they have a really specific plan, and it feels like maybe they're going with a similar plan again today on Lotus?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that attack, I mean, there's very little that we can say after a 1-11 half, but I think that's something that Eng was mentioning yesterday, and we definitely saw again today, is the usage of the Odin. We know that, you know, in the past we have seen Odin, we have seen how it's been used, but I feel like today and yesterday it was completely unhinged. You would literally just see Magnum go with the Odin, the same Magnum that, by the way...
Wait, Twitch chat, you know what to do with that. You know what to do.
Magnum's movement with the Odin.
He was just jumping around and actually, you know, completing that redemption arc, because we have mentioned that 0-15 that he had on the map. It was this against Heretics, and I feel that after yesterday being able to take in Fnatic, I think that the sky is the ceiling.
It's gone bananas.
They've gone bananas.
Oh, that was a very low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I don't
God.
really see the appeal of that, but fair enough. Yeah, carry on. I'm here all day, mate.
It has to be Mitch's favorite map, no? Like all the Odins every single time. That is but it's quite phenomenal how this is the first time we actually see a metagame where Odin has its own niche as a suppressing fire weapon. How it is being designed, right? We did start that with Fnatic actually coining out that metagame, and now it's being picked up by so many teams.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it from N. He wanted Thomas.
I mean, it was something
like
very
Magnum
in the meta already. Like we've seen the classic comp on Ascent, the Sova Killjoy,
for both of the teams, and how all of them were
Omen and stuff like that. We saw them play. We saw Sova's, like sassy Sova play. I think it's sassy in NA. Had a huge game on like
after seeing you playing with the Odin.
Sova playing Odin. I mean, Ascent is a fucking card on that, but
you will see.
Hey, Killjoy Odin on Haven. Yeah, Tom, I live in Tom Biz's head rent-free, I feel like, with that. But we are going to move on to Icebox next. And for those of you that don't know...
Yeah, it's the second game against MIDR,
for Neilzinho and N.
So hear me out. Yesterday we were thinking
or
about
against
the possibilities.
No, against MIDR.
And as we knew that the vetoes was going to be very similar to what we
Wait, is it?
I jumped out of the chair and I was like, wait, was Neil on G2 the time that Gambit 13-0'd them on Icebox? We know that Icebox looks a little bit different, but you do not forget, not in a million
I forgot what game was it. What game it was.
And a team from your own region does this to you.
My favorite thing about this fact is that G2 then went on to 13-0 someone else as well. So like the 13-0 was passed on.
It's passing, but they passed the torch, and now I just hope that we're gonna see something crazy on Icebox. This is the map where all of the crazy compositions were always like happening, right? And I'm looking for Neilzinho to find a nice way of implementing that on this map.
I mean, this is the thing as we head into Agent Select and see what we're gonna get.
Okay, we got a raise.
Like this.
Okay.
We don't see Sages that often, I feel like, these days.
Every now and then. But it's Sage with Gecko together, which typically would see like, oh,
and
Gecko
Sage
takes over the position of Sage because
so it's the
like the wingman will be planting in safety, but this is combined together. It's pretty interesting. No double controller, so no.
That's a very post-plant fucking post-plant heavy team for KC.
Yeah, hear me out.
And the classic for Heretic outside of the Raze. Raze like generally is not played a lot
on the other side, just being a Sage, and
on Icebox
a lot of you to prevent that plan
because of
if you add on top of that,
such a long map and Jet is just
I believe this is the first time we're gonna see
so strong, especially like if you're gonna play with one smoker, which is a Viper, Jet smokes become very interesting, I feel like. Making the duelist even more important on Icebox, like the jet
pick. We thought we'd see the deadlock here.
Yeah.
It was a fake lock.
So we see a Sage instead of a KO or a Brim.
We've already seen great usage of Odin. We've seen great usage of Outlaw. Those are the only two things I care about
And
this map. I'm expecting a lot more
Gecko
Outlaw.
instead of the Sova.
Yeah, I'm always looking forward to seeing Raze on this map. That gives me flashbacks to
I
the
don't know.
legend that is Yassine.
I feel like Heretic is gonna play with so much more info, so much more like
For now, though, Magnum
safety.
already coming in under pressure.
Destroyed.
As he is forced back off the angle, of course. For the attack here, they're going to have to take control. Now, having that
Casey,
double
sorry.
initiator means they can clear a lot of
Wait,
positions
no,
for free.
Heretic is
But
gonna
getting
play.
into the plant, obviously
What?
they don't have a Sage, they don't have a
Why do
Harbor,
they have
so
the
there's not gonna be
fucking
anything as, like, a
Boo
hard
cam
blockade
on Magnum?
in the
That's
way.
why I'm
So they're gonna wanna
confused.
take some of
Yeah.
these firefights
And now
around
they have the
players,
fucking
so
Casey
that's
play
not
here
gone
for
great. A bit of
Patitech.
spam straight through the
Like,
screen
what?
is enough for Magnum to start things off.
Shot down low by Narrate, but the numbers
Patitech
are already
deep
thinned out
inside.
down to the 3v3 as the
And
plant
another
comes in. Is that a
lance
swing from
attempt.
Spawn? No.
That's gonna go
Magnum's
down
playing
this
this nice
time.
and slow. He's got Tamazi with him. And they'll try to open up some space for Shin to sneak his way through. Good shot onto Benji. Fishy. The damage most certainly done to start.
And they
this.
know about
Team
that
Heretics
kill.
are now on the back foot. Less angles. More angles to clear, rather. And well, they haven't got the players to cover it. But at least the information now. Having spotted Shin, he won't catch him by surprise, but the double swing after will. That's Magnum's third of the round. And it's all down to Boo. Nice shot. One more needed. But it's Magnum.
He saw
He's been
him.
hitting shot after shot. The time against him. He's the one that has to tap that. And Boo is clearing it out bit by bit. Playing with him as the time gets ever lower. Stuck to half. And tagged down. Magnum's in the danger zone. And he's got to get that defused now. The time
Wow.
is already gone. But Boo deals the damage to put 1-0 on the board for
Good
Heretics.
cheat.
Yeah, good start in the Red Bull clutch, and
And it's the second clutch like that where
each other in that final fight.
they
It was
just
a great
burst,
round
like,
from Magnum, even still with the Sheriff,
you just can't
managing
like
to find three, and
if you don't
ultimately
hit
one of the
that
reasons
shot
that this round was competitive.
when he's peeking
I am
or
liking what we're seeing though with this
or
composition
anything,
so far from Heretics.
it's
Sure,
over.
it's super early on.
like Heretic
But you
plays
can
those
see, like, they had the
1v1,
screen down and then they were
2v2 situations
consistently
very
pushing it,
well
where they had themselves
outside of the last
initial
round
use
of the last
darts,
map.
give them information, and then they
I
also
feel like,
had
oh,
flashes. What? All right then.
what a
He's
nice
seen that one
shot.
before.
Yeah, I guess Magnum really has been working on his Sheriff shots, because so far, crispy clean.
And
He's
he
gonna get
answer
taken
with the
down though by
Guardian.
Orions.
Deploying
Of course, a
drone.
lot of rifles on the board right now for the side of Heretics, so any more casualties and this becomes quite a costly round.
Keep an eye on Magnum as this map goes on. Martin shut down, and it's classics for the most part. They shouldn't do too much damage. Now right and Shin, though,
They find the
made this a little
kills.
closer than it should be. Wall goes up, and Shin goes down. Now right alone. Classic in hand. Two players to take down. Both are heavily armed. And
They're gonna
lightly
push
armored
him.
at this stage. They've been chipped away at, but the Sheriff won't help that much. Both can still sustain a shot to the body. It's got to be the headshots, and Boo's a little quicker on the trigger. 2-0 for Team Heretics. Those losses will be felt.
Okay,
I think
okay,
that damage
cool.
from KC can't
Not
be
good,
undersold.
not bad.
Yeah, no, it's actually going to mean that this is less of a bonus and
Wow.
It's filthy. Let's say he
What a
was ready for
sick
it.
shot.
He must know that he does that. He must have had that in his head.
Enemy remain.
Nasty.
yeah. In terms of this investment, as I said, it's less of a bonus and either going to have a couple of players with basically nothing or just pistols, and you're going to have some gaps where those rifles used to be. Still an opportunity though. 3 guns, one in Mini Boo's hands, one in Boo's, and one in Benji's. There's definitely players that can do some damage. Martin now looking to try and get a little bit of an aggressive push, and they all being farmed up by Shin in an attempt to get that res a little bit closer. It's not close.
Oh, I like this aggression. I like the flash, and I like the follow-up.
It's close now.
Shit. Yeah, right next to grabbing his res. It's not a bad start. Look, rifles in
And we
hand,
see the
Heretics
Killjoy
play as a
jump
bonus.
picking
Sure, we can
mid.
throw excuses out there, but that was nasty. And you could see that they were completely caught off guard on the attacking side by that kind of aggression.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to shoot the Dizzy though. I think that's the only problem, as they get caught out by that piece of utility. Boo trying to find something with the spam, a little bit optimistic. Rian's now trying to do the rest, and Narrate, after his initial strong flash will be there to get some kills as well.
Pretty weak bonus.
Pretty clean start.
No
for the
plant.
defensive side as
One gun
they
down.
lose a single
Like
player. And I think it was literally just a bullet missed, and then Shin just gets everything on the blind players.
Well, round 4 will have a lot of value to it. Rifles brought in across the board. Limited damage in the previous round means KC are feeling pretty healthy when it comes to credits. But for Team Heretics, they're not in that same boat, investing everything into this one. They come in with an ultimate to play with. It's Rien's, and it's Miniboo to open. Tamazi out of the round right away. Viper Util no longer to play with. A retakes are harder. But most importantly, B itself is wide open. Was.
Once you get into those close blocks, it can be problematic. So Magnum's going to try and be a little bit more aggressive, try and hold them back at least a little bit. As said, with his composition, you're going to try and take a little bit more control for the attack. Going for the standard plant is risky, especially just look at Shin. He's basically just waiting around the back line.
they're gonna get into yellow.
Here comes the Util on the other side from Heretics, forcing them back as much as possible. Pop flash through and a little bit of damage from his own utility, but they think they've taken enough space. It doesn't look like it thus far, as Magnum already going to pounce.
An attempted return by Rien's, but it's found Rien. Nothing
Nice.
to be located for this squad as Team Heretics.
I got
bunker
it.
down
I
with
got
that
it.
Disadvantage. The time ticking away, but it's not that far gone that there's panic in the side of KC. They've got the utility with Thrash back online and immediately shut down. Spray through from Martin is good, leaving Boo on his own. As Magnum has picked up another
Good
big
retake.
round. Hey, I'm really impressed with his individual performance. Not only taking on the leadership role, which has got to have its weight to it, and sure, having Narrate there to back him up is going to help. But individually, I think this is the best form we've ever seen Magnum play on, and that's impressive.
This is definitely looking good. And this is the thing, it's never going to be easy to sort of take that much space and plant at the same time.
He's feeling it.
I even cracked a smile for Eng. 2-2. Now the purchase, not a great one. A single Guardian. Got yourself some pistols on the rest with the Sheriffs, and again, looking like an aggressive stance. They're caught by the dance. They're going to have to try and fall back off this one. It's again another 4-player stack up in the early round onto this A site. The expectation that they're eventually going to go in this direction, and they do! Martin is able to correct though. It looked like he was dead to rights.
And they have a heal for him
They
too.
kept that swing up top.
Oh no,
Maybe it would
the
have
Sage
been. I think the
died.
fact
My
that
bad,
KC
my
had
bad.
players deeper on A was
I thought it was a
incredibly
killjoy,
valuable.
but
The timing on the top
they
team
know
to
about
draw their crosshairs as well, sublime. And timing is
that
going to be a key
timing.
part of this round because Boo is trying to catch them off guard. That wall down, and unfortunately for Boo, he is caught looking the wrong way. So Team Heretics have a wide open sight because it's retake play. Well, for KC, they can deny them with some utility. That plant, not easy to find. Although Miniboo will try to take this one a little bit deeper.
They have the
As
drop.
well. That's the Guardian back up. Reveal has not caught Tamazi, and he's content to just give it up. The retake attempt will be taken by KC. I think it's a wise choice.
I think that could be interesting. Well, now 2. A shot connected, a showstopper available for Miniboo. Already looking to try and deny any further pushing, but it's going to be an easy clean in the end for the side of KC. And I like the fact that they're consistently having these sort of proactive positions. It makes things fairly awkward for the side of Heretics. I also think these early stack-ups in A is because they know that realistically,
Do we have a pause?
getting the plants on B is not going to be easy. You don't have anything to
timeout.
basically plant something down and fall back. You have to push. So they're just stacking up A because it is the more logical side to go for. It's where you normally see teams just consistently put the pressure on. And especially when you consider Heretics' actual comp. You've got a nade for one corner. You've got yourself the fragment for another corner. You've got yourself snake bites. You've got
We
yourself
have a rest
nano swarms.
portion.
Like, you've got yourself shock darts. They've got so much. They could just spam the hell out of the A site with the amount of utility. So KC are going, well, that has to come eventually. It feels like the reason they have this comp.
Well, 2 players suppressed, but 1 not spotted up top. Martin. Ulkaman's taken away his abilities, but he's still got his rifle to play with. Can't quite get past that wall, and eventually he will. Unfortunately, Miniboo fired a rocket just before he went down, and that's taken Martin clean out of the round. Lockdown in play, but where are they going to go? They're just going straight up to heaven to deny this from afar. Lineups in play for Benji Fishy as the nanos come through, and that tap on the spike. That's a half problem. Nice shot for Tech. Utility now should secure the round on time alone, and Tamazi has next to nothing to do about it. He needs kills, and he needs them now. The next couple of seconds, he'll be hightailing it out of here. An attempt with the wall up, I like it, but they've got to reveal. It's just the constant bombardment of utility that's making it difficult and indeed impossible.
And that's why this comp is so freaking strong.
It would be not the most exciting thing I want to watch, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just continue to go towards this A side. Like, even if there's a stack up on this site, which there was, just the sheer amount of utility that they have to force players out of angles.
I still prefer a Jet over Ace.
It seems like a comp that will just thrive in that direction,
But,
whereas on the B side, okay, you need a little bit more. The thing is, though, Mitch, in this round, they do have a little bit more with the Viper's Pit.
Yeah, that could be helping out a ton. Now, taking the space is something else, but so far it's been easy enough when they pop this utility through. Tamazi, as we can see on the mini-map there, is much more passive than he was before. He was trying to get up close to the boxes and fight kind of where Miniboo is now. But instead, he's now playing back further, having been punished.
Yeah, because the wall was
up from Miniboo.
That's why he's playing way back.
Heretics have their wall. That should get close enough to.
He has to respect and give up the space.
Can be enough to stop it because really
they know about the Sova Dart.
Or else we're relying on the fight back through the pit.
Still looking at Magnum. He really has been a menace that they've had to deal with. This early read from KC is sublime, but here comes the bombardment of utility. First in, first out, Panitek gone!
Holy fuck, man.
They've been obliterated by an array. He was just watching the cross. I need to see...
Replay?
Yeah, I need to see his point of view there.
That spam was
I'm not quite sure how he's just wiped out that many players in a second. One of them was with the Mosh.
Yes.
The rest was all him.
After, yeah. So Spray, he sees the first. He just lines it.
What?
And I guess did enough damage to Boo combined with either a snake bite or a spam from Tamazi or maybe even just a wall. Whatever it was that made it easy for the mosh pit.
He's about as ecstatic as his tweets after all of the matches. Wow. Just 1-2-0. No, he's literally just tweeting the same thing every day.
It's not like Angel. Apparently he lost 2-1 yesterday. It was
yeah.
Enjoyed that one.
And he won a map in his mind. To be fair, one of them was quite long.
It was.
Maybe he felt like he won the first half and that counts.
He was like, we played 3 maps, definitely.
Okay.
That took too long.
Well, the early fight from Panitek somewhat been undone. It will be the res coming through. Martin on the operator.
We see the open Martin.
Doesn't even matter that much. Shin's also been holding that res for about 3 or 4 rounds.
Martin's already died once, and look at how aggressive he's being. I mean, he has a Blade Storm to work with, so why not? Updraft attempt, and that's not gone well. Out of there, and the spray is chasing him, but Shin somehow connects. Magnum as well. And KC,
and the heal from Shin
don't
too.
know if that was through the wall or just in the open, but either way, it works, because they're just winning every single fight. And indeed, it will be a flawless round. I mean, they lost a player, so technically there was a flaw, but I'll give it to you.
We should see
well played.
Yeah,
timeout.
I think Martin might have taken about 300 damage that round and still survived. Because not only does he take the initial death, but he also gets healed up again afterwards because of the amount of damage he took on the regress. Even still though, Shin managed to protect the President. Well, the President's rewarded him with a round. Really clean stuff from KC. 5 of the last 6 on the board for them. And the one was this aggressive play into the A side. As I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's rinse and repeat. The problem is there's a lot of resistance here. And even after the last round, the man almost died twice aggressively. He still catches them off guard again. Miniboo's gone.
They found Banshee as well. Oh, a little bit late on the reaction to that.
Oh my god.
Magnum didn't go according to plan. It's a messy round. And it's left it into a 2 versus 2. A winnable spot for the side of Team Heretics. The Viper's Pit online for Tamazi, but his teammate might be in trouble. The Thrash comes through. It's now in the open. Irretrievable, almost a mosh pit from Narrate. That is
oh my god!
Maybe foolish. Jans quickly deals with him, but the angle for Tamazi? Those players are hidden away.
Oh, can you see
and
the
they're going to
barrel?
check it. They're going to check it together. There you go. Oh, no, not together. Patatek got
What?
the info.
He should know where he is.
Riens is left to close this out. He's already tagged a little bit. Unfortunate. Tamazi now sees the wall is there. He's got to go forward. He's caught with a snake bite. Not dealt with, though. That could be a mistake. The Riens lives to regret. He's running. Got the ult to work with. Riens is just going to shift it up close, already stuck halfway, and the head scene. Riens knows it's not being stuck. He'll play the time and eventually get in there for his third. Heretics finding another round, keeping it close.
Okay,
He looks unbothered.
Yeah, calm and collected as ever. Even still, though, they lose every single player. And because of how clean a lot of these rounds have been for the side of KC, financially not in the best spot. On the other side of things, they do have nearly all of their ultimates online, so a good chance that they'll be able to just spam their way out of this one. The fact is, though, it really has been the success of the A side. Again, I feel like that's what this comp is built for. They're looking to build into it once again. This aggression has to be expected. They've done it almost every single round, and even still, the Martine Miniboo battle goes Martine's way.
His aggression has been so varied at the same time. Boo is miles away. He's leading from afar, huh? The armchair general of the round. But for Team Heretics, they're getting caught off guard. But again, it's Martine in different positions, different forms of aggression. Last round, you've got the close range op fight. Now he dashes up to take a duel up top. There seems to be almost no way to predict him. In fact, he dashed out of there. They're just running along the rope. Got to be ready for it. But for Heretics, at least, there's something to fall back on. They've lost Miniboo, but they've still got 4 ultimates in play. So there could be some way to pull this back.
He was the only one who didn't have his ult, so it's not ideal because he's normally the space taker, but it's better than what was lost instead already.
It's kind of
Throwing the
hurt.
knife through, but it doesn't actually connect, and I like the fact they've just walled this off. That's something that's going to waste some time for the side of Heretics, who are yet to really start peaking. They are going to bypass. This is going to be the Viper's Pit, and Boo already taking a hefty amount of damage. Straight over the top goes Martine. No fear, as there's not really been anything
They
connected.
found Patatek.
Already gone, and
But they haven't found that. Oh, that's it. The Viper's gone. Or the alignment.
Manages a couple within a second, but it isn't going to be enough.
I think just a shame for them. They put such a deep Viper's Pit, but this squad is quickly able to bypass it, using the top of the site just to create those extra angles, and it's a tough one to fight from. I think a defensive Viper's Pit there, as we can see, you know, it would have had more value, but then you're trying to win the round in a very different way.
Also, the Sage will block
What?
that avenue. So I think they had about 3 seconds after they saw peek around the corner. Because the Sage is on the right side, he just, I think, just put that.
He saw almost nothing of that Viper.
So it was more so, I think it was just a reaction to the utility that was denying him on the other side. So it's one of those spots where I agree, but also I think KC just played it really well.
Yeah, but like I say, if you bring that back, again, it changes the whole shape of how you're playing that site. You want to be having your util late round, having players further back,
100%.
someone inside. So much has to go differently. I don't mind the responsive play, but it was adapted to perfectly on the other side. 6-4 for KC. Heretics call a timeout. And remember, this map chosen by
And
the
we
side of
haven't seen a lot of
means
rotation
Heretics
on the
wanted
map,
to start on the attack.
though.
I don't know if things are going exactly as they wanted them just now, but they can tie it
Like,
up 6-6 at the
we've
half.
seen a lot
It's not
of
the end of the world.
rolling
The problem
plays.
is that coming into this round after the timeout, they're not going to have credits. It's going to be a very weak buy.
Compositionally, just because this map can be difficult to get those plants in at times, especially on the B site, I do think there's a good opportunity for Heretics over on that defensive side. They're going to have so much in terms of information and delay utility. Like, even with a Sage Wall, if there's a nade, a fragment, a shock dart, snake bite, anything, it's going to be difficult to plant. So I don't mind their chances. The problem is, if they're too far behind, we've already seen what KC can do when they get going on that attack. Just have a look at last map.
Still the pit to play with for Tamazi. KC don't need to be worried. It's a lot of pistols for Heretics. A much slower approach to the attack as they look to catch someone off guard. Immediately, yeah, like you say, Tamazi making some noise. It's the same setup that Team Heretics have seen. One Viper here, defending it, falling back, playing the retake. Tamazi's going to give them the idea that maybe they can catch him off guard. Maybe they can blitz in.
That epic
Take it by
hisses.
surprise. The reveal, I don't think he's catching Martin either. Good kill, fall back, and now Martin's got it for free. Surely, Tomazi has gone down. So Martin almost wants that little bit more. A second player now making around that corner. There we go, nice and easy. And the patience pays off. Beautiful stuff from Martin, and a clear advantage to the defenders now.
That's an intelligent player right there. He knew that there was more to be had other than just mini-boo, and you can't really blame Heretics for not checking that. They fell for the exact plan that KC were telling them.
But
and we're now with just a couple of pistols. You can already see just waiting to try and deny them on that plant. It's more Heretics just looking to try and do a little bit of extra damage. An unorthodox plant spot, but it is still going to be cleared by the Mosh. We're going to have to go back for a little bit more. You could see Panatic just trying to cover every single angle under the sun. He almost, there was a world where he somehow gets a couple there. Now it's
another good
clean on the first, but there's no chance for the
another
second.
good shot from Benji Fishy. That Sheriff is dangerous on him.
They are now 7-4 in the lead.
Powerful lead for this French organization. One more left to play for in the half, and they could be doubling up on what Heretics have brought to the table. After a 13-7 on the previous map, KC Ball is certainly rolling, snowballing down the hill. And Heretics will look to dodge that avalanche as this final attacking round sees not 1, 2, 3, but 4 ultimates for the side of Carmine Corp. They have a Res, a Viper's Pit, a Blade Storm, and a Lockdown. I mean, your choice of how you want to use these. A powerful retake, powerful stopping ability. Heretics will have to play a perfect round with just a showstopper in their back pocket.
They're basically playing the retake already. Like, you can see the stack up this time is actually over on B. They've put the Sage Wall down early. They're putting pressure onto mid. And I feel like a lot of this might just be Tomazi trying to hold onto the backside. The showstopper, well, they're actually going hunting through it. It's almost been wasted. He's going to go back in. He's made it into the pit. With the lockdown, it's going to force them back completely. He gets to hold the site, doesn't get hit by the showstopper, and some of the players have even been detained.
Yeah, well, deterred from any further aggression, though, having seen that
that Mush bounce. And they have the res for Martin.
And then takes down Martin with a straight spray through the pit. Okay, one big player dealt with. Blade Storm out of the round, lockdown used, and a Viper's Pit already placed on the map. What's Heretics' plan? Oh, but look, they're waiting for it on the side of Heretics.
With the flash to cover it.
Save the day, and Narrate's got another kill on the back of it, decimating the squad. 4 versus 3, Pit still up,
and it's messy.
Tomazi falls. That's the Pit down, but only Boo left to deal with, and Martin's got him locked in. 8-4. Double the score of their opponents on the other side. Carmine Corp are set to take this. A pistol could send them right back into that snowball that we've been experiencing. They look hot right now. Heretics need a way back in.
Yeah, I like the fact that every time I'm watching KC doing something scary or ludicrous, there's another layer to it. Like that res, by all accounts, risky as hell. The dizzy over the top, and then the aggression. So while that res is happening, Narrate is taking the fight. He is making it so that, okay, my teammate's getting enough. If I can get a kill off that distraction, it's huge. 8-4 in the lead, and bear in mind, next up is Split.
Oh wow, sure, what a nice transition, man. That's fucking...
And KC have
that's
since
fucking funny, man.
That was a pretty fire transition we just got. The banana buff into the kitchen banana. Now, it's been looking pretty good for the side of KC, but the pistol doesn't get off to the best of
They really play well on the kill flashes.
Best cosplay of Martin, and it's won an award. A one-man advantage is their prize.
The two fucking Viper fighting each other on B. On the B island.
Still, man advantage nonetheless. A little bit of a sneaky push coming up from Tomazi, hoping that he can maybe find an angle, find a gap, and he has done quite a bit of damage onto Boo. No heals available on their side, and I'm sure Shin's going to try and find something a little bit more before that wall goes down, but in fact, Tomazi has managed to win that fight. The spike's even coming through on the other side, just trying to bait them out. In the meantime, the players are walking up on
it's working!
Fake planted the spike, and then they are running all the way back to the A site. That is absolute filth. It's only just being realized by Heretics that this has all been a bait. But look at the control that KC have already taken.
This is textbook play. Absolutely beautiful from KC. Fake works. The players are on site.
Oh, and they faked
And
it
the
again.
wall for
is
the
a
Jets
Look, Rians runs through, goes, "There's a wall
to
there,
lure
there's no way
them
there's
to
a guy on the other
safety.
side." The nade trying to deny. The push in doesn't get anything. Shin fighting strong, but Benji again left into a 1v2 solo on
Yeah,
HP.
but the wall, man.
Needs an
It's
immediate
wall.
response.
Calling my bot.
Yeah, with 15 health,
Bot coming back.
quick headshots needed. That's the only way out of this one. He has got 1v1s on offer, but he's
What?
looking the wrong way on the way.
Holy
through.
shit.
Might be the first time I've seen Narrate whiff that bad, but he gets there in the end. So all is well. 9 on the board for KC and a real blow for the Heretics fans.
I love it. Again, this is someone who is a brand new in-game leader with a brand new team of youngsters. The adaptations they make
When
in
they
this
don't
round,
look at
not
you,
only
man.
the initial rotation with the fake plant, but
They're having
also
a Cam Magnum.
just the fact that they have that Sage Wall in the late stages of the round that they use to bait a kill so that Martin, maybe that's why he's telling him to calm down, because it was risky, but it was clever.
It was, absolutely. Just lulling them into a false sense of security on a read that you've got to make pretty damn quick. 9 rounds on the board for KC. Attack side looking good. Some investment from Heretics. A couple of Sheriffs. Some utility, for sure. Still double snake bites on Boo. Nade on Mini Boo. And a flash for Patatek. See how much value can be taken from that. As KC are clearly setting their sights on B. But Heretics have made the read. It's not like this is a completely abandoned site. It's not left wide open like we've seen in the past. Instead, they look to fight. It's just that they don't quite
have the
brawn
wingman,
that
though.
KC do. I'll have to catch them off guard.
No Sage Wall yet. No
Wingman,
wingman.
Sage Wall. Plenty they can try and use to get them into the after plant and force some awkward positions. A pop flash here could be devastating. They like investing into these extra pieces of utility for these sort of rounds. The orb actually ends up helping them out quite a bit. That will allow them to retreat back, and this is where the better weaponry just takes over. Benji still crisp.
Another crisp one. Like it's like the 4th or the 5th one.
I'm pretty sure the answer to
in,
that
like,
one.
The last 2
They're
games.
stacked up 3
so.
players on that angle on his left. Well, if he could find even one, that would be so much of a miracle. Now as he swings, there's going to be 4.
And he's gonna find
Make it a little bit
another
harder,
one.
And he does
Like,
find the one at least. Some damage, but it's negligible in the grand scheme of things. The bigger picture, 10-4 for KC. A 6-round lead, 3 to close it. They're on that attack side. With Narrate having, again, a lights-out performance.
And no
I mentioned
outlaw.
before in the last map, there was a stage towards the end where he was 25 kills, 10 deaths, and 10 assists. He's now 16 and 5,
He's playing
6
unreal.
assists. His impact
and we can see
is
like
off the
all
goddamn
the
charts.
small
And it's in every
shields.
round.
If they
Like
win this,
an outlaw on that Jet would
he's
be
tournament MVP.
so
I don't even think
fucking
it's
good.
questionable.
On the
Of course,
roles he's playing as well, it's remarkable.
obviously, the value can't be understated as well. The 3 points, the equivalent of 3 wins in the regular season that's coming up.
He saw the bow.
Same as you get
Oh,
for
the
winning
timing.
over in Masters.
And a flash
Huge
again.
step in what will be the
Very
road
good
to challenge,
flash.
which, of
No
course,
pick
for
on it, but
these teams, after making their first Masters, it might feel like a long way away, but it will be a huge boost for them. Nice flash. It's going to catch Narrate picking up his own. Rian's also, his spot might not be something they necessarily check for. At least at this stage. They're looking to try and clear Miniboo, but he's still sat back waiting for them to try and retreat.
And now they know.
Oh,
And he's gone.
Oh no, it's not what you like to see. A bit of a
They're
whiff, his
gonna run
position
away.
given away. The trigger discipline not quite matching up to what we saw earlier on from Martin. As KC now redirect themselves, it's the B site that's under threat.
Yeah,
Boo.
it's mainly because of Magnum.
Who is
He's got
moving
He's got a
away?
good position. Now they've relinked with him, and look at this. Just as they go to move, those players start to relocate. They're worried about the A site. They think the hit's coming through there, and now they realize it's a big old retake they've got to go for.
Timmy the turret is going to be used to bolster the plant. 4 players looking to try and rotate back. But there's so much still to do. They do have themselves snake bites, the knife, a fragment. Even a blast pack for some space to be taken. Magnum, they're already getting rid of Boo. That's not the start they were looking for. Martin is also sat alongside Timmy the
on
Turret.
yellow.
A pretty nasty angle to be playing behind something they might not even consider checking. And they finally cleared him, but it's too little too late. The round again
and KC looking very dominant. Very in control, like.
6 rounds in a row now. It doesn't look like there's a response.
I did like this, the flash through. It seemed like Miniboo was kind of ready for that. Miniboo, Narrate more so, was actually ready for that. He turned from it, but couldn't react in time. At 11-4, yeah, look, KC haven't been really making a step wrong. We complimented Team Heretic's system, certainly in that first map, and from what we've seen so far in this tournament, running it through without losing a map. This squad has looked impressive with a stand-in, with, you know, synergy problems with a player at home. It's never going to be the same. And Patatek slotting in as a stand-in has done remarkable, but for KC on this map, their post plans, their pre-plans, their takes, their aggression on defensive side, every single thing has got so many layers to it. I absolutely love what we're seeing from this squad, and it is just unbelievable to think when we started this season, I don't think there was any reason. If somebody put them as a top 2 team, I think they're kind of insane. Like, on
they're
paper,
in the booth next to us.
You know, but yeah, they are, aren't they? But it would have been a very bold prediction to think they'd do that well. Even Magnum saying to us before the season started, we're top 4 easily. It's like, that's a big statement. Making it to top 4 is an achievement for this squad, but they have shown that, honestly, they look like the best team in our region right now.
Yeah, the other thing is a lot of people would have put Gentlemates, the other French team, above them. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. They were coming in as a roster that had been around for a while, another very experienced coach. Like, you can't really blame them for it, but no, KC have come out swinging. I think Eng his stonks have gone even higher than they already were. And Magnum is making a name for himself once again. For the side of Heretics, it's a round with Sheriffs, looking like they may have to try and fight back 8 in a row, but at least giving themselves the best possible setup to do it. On the other side of things is Patient. They are expecting some aggression. A spawn spot from Tomazi. He's gone from being the first man in his old Portuguese team to the man waiting in spawn. It's definitely been a change of roles, but one that I think he's thriving in. And I think that's actually one of the most impressive things for me. To bring a player that young, switch their role to basically the polar opposite of what he was doing before. He's mostly been playing Viper. And to see him, well, as I said, yesterday went 26-13 versus Fnatic.
They're all right.
They're kind of good.
Flash retrieved for Narrate. I think that's going to cause a bit of a slowdown to the round while they wait for it to come back online. We'll see Dizzy go through and a push to back site, but that's Team Heretic's trigger.
30 seconds
As they
left.
hear those pieces of utility come through, they know that the plan's being committed to, that the fight is being taken, and then the pistols can maybe blindside a few. Triple swing on backside. Shin, he might have looked out of position, but that's because you didn't see Martin right behind him. You only see the flash of his barrel as he takes kill after kill, 12 seconds. And the cover
that
is there.
Killjoy in the
Taking
kitchen
territory
position.
well and truly in the hands of Carmine Corp. The Team Heretics of Benji and Rienz attempting to bring... What? Well, I don't
The
know
ace?
about that shot.
Oh my god.
But it worked. It took him down. Fair enough. It was echo-locating him once he started knifing the wall. 12-4. Tom, you know, at the halftime, it looked like KC were going to take this. Now, it looks impossible for Heretics to get back through. They're already thinking about split.
Oh yeah, they've definitely got to be. As said, last time they played split versus their opponents, they won 13-4. But they were probably feeling the same thing when they went into Lotus and got bullied for the entirety of the first half. And as said, since then, KC have beat Fnatic on split. So every time they seem to be growing, getting better, improving. That has been the story of them throughout this tournament. Now Heretics need to show a little bit of Spanish flair. 8 rounds in a row is what they need. That's not the start they were looking for. Boo going walkabouts. Nice shot from Miniboo, though.
Nice
At least going to turn things back into their favor. Leave things even for now. Benji also...
They could go for the
Benji
point,
should be
though.
playing for the retake here. He has the lockdown.
For
Him
the
going
eyes.
down would be rough. Not the spot you want to be in. And in fact, it's actually going to be a very early Hunter's Fury. Normally a great ult to have in a retake, but clearly hoping they could do some damage.
Especially a retake of A with such narrow laneways. I think that's a desperate attempt to try and pull an advantage out of thin air and
And a
maybe
lockdown that would have forced them back.
Exactly, right? Like, this could have been massive, but instead, look, they still have the lockdown to work with, but you're not punishing on the way. Not quite the same. Nice shot from Martin, but he only gets the one. And with the lockdown in play, there's some trouble brewing. You're crazy. Throwing in the Thrash here, it's actually caught, but Magnum won't get round the corner in time.
Magnum a bit naive.
The pressure's now on. Shin's got a 1v3 for the next couple seconds while they tap that defuse. Here comes the swing. Good shot from Shin! He's got them both! A chance to keep this alive. It's halfway, and the head was spotted. Narrate knows the timing is his. He's dropped down, covered it with a shot, and the angle's now tough for Miniboo. 20 HP, but he'll hit this shot to keep Heretics alive.
Okay.
It's not over yet on Icebox.
But the thing that Heretics like have to do to win a fucking round, man.
From coal to diamonds, that's for sure. That was so ridiculously close. The fact is, Narrate was a passenger, and he almost managed to do it all. 12-5. We saw the attempted comeback last time out. Mitch called it a
and they won, but like the economy.
This could be Heretics all the way.
That's a shame. 13-5.
It's only 7 in a row, so I'm feeling confident. Let's see. I mean, I'm limit testing. I don't believe how these last few weeks have gone.
They're gonna play mid.
None, to be honest.
Okay.
I think Heretics
See the Killjoy again playing tube.
And they're gonna hide and punish. Probably just headshot him right away.
Okay. So everybody get their clips ready.
Here comes Boo to start. It's going to be the first man. I like the angle he's on. Actually, now I'm believing. Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay, he gets there in the end. Nice and clean. First kill, just as we expected. Shut down.
The
shot from Benji's good. Heretics aren't letting go of this. It's only Tamazi left, and he hasn't got a goddamn chance. Curse isn't real, Tom. KC going one more.
Okay, okay.
He had his
And a little reaction
so it's not building
from Heretic.
Confidence.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing for him. Even if it does come down to going into split, he's going to be such a huge part of it, playing that solo duelist on the Raze. A lot of the setup will be based around him. The fact is, though, sometimes that last round can be the most difficult. We've seen fight backs from ridiculous spots in this map before, but this would have to be one of the best. Still, Rez and Viper's Pit, something to play with. Util is going to catch out a couple of players already. This aggressive spot from Miniboo, still clearly feeling the confidence.
Yeah, but it's not just Miniboo. They were waiting for the recon of Rian's, but he's not putting the recon because he's so close himself, already going in with the rocket launcher, and the show is over for Miniboo. He's out of the round. Rian's not able to trade up close, and so he's forced back. The A site now, not as heavily defended by Team Heretics. The advanced positions taken out of their hands. It might get a little bit awkward for this squad. They don't have any control on the side of KC elsewhere. It seems like they're going to fully commit to this A play. So the life on this map pretty much dependent on either Patatek or Rian's getting a few on the way through. Rian's has been consistent, and Patatek's got the first. Good signs for Heretics.
Yeah,
Fine,
3 players
more.
already. They can continue to stack up onto the site, still playing.
And it's every time it's the Sage with the Rez.
Has a teammate alongside him, but the trades are good. A Viper's Pit possible.
And it's a 2v2.
Also catching onto Boo will let them know that he's here. Instead, though,
It's a 1v2.
Goes facing that snake bite. It's going to do quite a bit of extra damage. Leave Tamazi low, and he's now being rounded on from behind from Benji. His positioning almost perfect.
It's gonna spam him.
Try and get into that pit, catch him before he can do anything else. The second snake bite as well, just making things so much worse. 44 HP, the right spam could do everything, and Tamazi knows it. He's gonna try and fight forward, looking for that player who's about to round the corner. Not quite ready for it. Might still win the duel though. Somehow has turned this back into a 1v1.
Oh.
He's there. He'll keep the hopes and dreams of Heretics alive.
Those fucking rounds.
To 7.
The only way to approach this is one at a time. 5 more rounds.
I am biased for KC.
But they can get
like,
there.
they've shown so much good stuff.
That was nasty from Martin. Didn't catch that the first time around, but
it's the counter flash as well, again from Narrate. Like, he is still probably dead, or at least one of the others is, but he just throws that Dizzy in, completely blind.
Well, Heretics building their confidence, building their rounds, and on the comeback arc, 5 in a row needed. Viper's Pit to play with. KC, if they lose a player early on, that res from Shin can always come back through now that it's online. There's something to think about, really, if you're Heretics. And 4 players spotted right away. I think they've got an iota that this is an A hit.
Yeah, it seems like the plan over the last few rounds has been to hit towards this A site. This time, though, they're picking up the pace. Looking to almost sprint their way in. That shock dart could do a nasty amount of damage. It's going to tickle away at a few players. As they continue this push forward, Panitek's gone, so is Rien's. Not the start they were looking for. Benji's at least managed to claw back.
And we have the little guy planting.
And now the fallback. This is just going to have to be that full retake now.
At least still some utility to work with, but the pin for Heretics needs to be dealt with. They could get that diffused right under their nose.
He got
Magnum's
2
all the way around. It's
a
player to worry about, and he's way up top. Magnum could have 3 kills down below. But instead, they were focused on finding that third. Boo and Benji. Benji very low. Boo not too healthy either. And with the pit down, things are looking like it might just be over. 30 HP, 1 shot needed for KC. That's 13-7, back to back. The consistency on display from this French organization. And my God, they are now 1 away. Magnum, a player who debuted on this stage, one of the maps 0 and 15. And now he's 1 away from winning the kickoff event. An unbelievable story for this squad.
Oh, Heretics, they came into this without losing a map. Now they've lost 2 and have to try and turn it around. Let's see if they've got the stones to do it.
I'm so much better than them. What the are you guys doing? Sit the down. Let's go. Nice. Let's go. Calm down. Calm down.
I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. But in spite of everything,
those ads, man.
it occurs to you to
These
visit
ads, man.
Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I feel like a champion. A champion. Ain't nothing that can't be done. Oh yeah. I put it all on the line. Definition of divine.
Yeah, I feel like a champion. Ain't nothing that can't be done. They told me I wouldn't be nothing. Came on now, I'm second to none. I need me a trophy, I need me a ring. I'm not with the bull, but keep it a beam. You know what it is, you know what I mean? Shit, all I do is win, 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 win. Haters wanna hate, they ain't made top 10. Double, triple team, what they need to defend. I juke left and I'm gone with the win. I'm gone with it.
I feel like a champion. A champion. Ain't nothing that can't be done. Oh yeah. I put it all on the line, definition of divine. I feel like a champion. A champion. Ain't nothing that can't be done. Oh yeah. I put it all on the line, definition of divine.
Feel like a champ, MVP status. Yeah, the win been guaranteed. Snow, let's see about it. If you gon' speak about it, then be about it. If you don't bring that energy, no, I can't be around it. Nah, I'ma shoot my shot. I'ma stick it, watch. At the tippy top, I cannot take no loss. 2 seconds on the clock, they gotta give me the rock. I got a game on wet, yeah, I got a game on lock.
I feel like a champion. A champion. Ain't nothing that can't be done. Oh yeah. I put it all on the line, definition of divine. I feel like a champion. A champion. Ain't nothing that can't be done. Oh yeah. I put it all on the line, definition of divine.
They pull ahead in this grand finals. I'm now joined by Fanatics. Alpha, everyone give it up for Alpha, yeah! Hello, Alpha. Commiserations for yesterday. I know you wanted to make it through, but you didn't. So how is everything? Are you okay? How's the team doing?
I'm super happy, I guess, because we lost. First time we didn't qualify World Cup. It must be super happy, right?
Oh no, Alpha, don't troll me like that. But it's okay. I think everyone is very happy to see you here. I see some Fnatic jerseys here as well. Of course, you played against K-Core yesterday. So what do you make of their performance so far today? What do you make of the series?
I mean, they're playing well. They are an unexpected team, actually. I didn't expect when we're playing, I didn't expect they're gonna play like this. Yeah, unexpected team.
Yeah, but also on the other side, Team Heretics. Nice. Rians is not here, but that's your ex-teammate. So talk me through what he's like and how happy are you to see him succeed?
I mean, I'm happy for Rians because he's my really close friend and he's also my ex-teammate. And he's a really good person, so I like...
Does this mean you're supporting Heretics today? You want them to win?
Yes.
Oh, what do you guys think about that? Okay, the Heretics fans are happy about the K-Core fans are booing. But last question, Split is coming up next. You played them on Split already on K-Core. What do Heretics need to do, you think, today to beat them on Split?
I think they need to pick them.
Pick them?
Because Karmine Corp is playing like really stress. And if they do, let them do what they're gonna do, they're gonna lose.
Can't be scared of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice advice there. Thank you very much, Alpha. Yeah, one more time, guys. Alpha. And let's send this back over and see if Heretics can indeed beat them on Split.
Thank you very much, Yinsu. Thank you, Alpha. Well, Lothar, he's saying that they need to pick, but we're going back to the bananas. Okay, Casey's definitely feeling comfortable, and Tomas is going to be the one eating it now.
Well, hopefully they're gonna reverse the curse again. You know, that's gonna happen. But before we go into the agent select, I wanted to summarize what we have learned from the previous split that those teams had been learning from the previous time they played. So we will have a reverse when it comes to the roles. We're gonna see Team Heretics on attack first, which was not something that we have seen a lot of time in the previous match because they literally played 5 rounds and that was it. But on Split, KC, when they were playing against Heretics on the defense, they were allowing them too much proactiveness. Like we have seen this already today on Sunset, the proactive mini-boo setups with the support from the Omen. That was something that we have seen on Sunset. It's going to be happening again on Split when Team Heretics is going to swap to defense.
Yeah, exactly. So I assume that we do not really expect many changes when it comes to the agent select. So taking those learnings, not only what we've seen today, but also what we saw the other day, I would say is over a week ago that we saw the split between these two teams. What do you think were Team Heretics' biggest weaknesses that KC need to exploit in order to, you know, take those 3 points home?
Well, there was one weakness that they found when they were attacking, and that was Team Heretics' ramp control on defense. The only rounds that Kickoff actually won on the attack was when they were doing A pinches. It was a 3 rounds. It was not really that successful, right? But it was the only success they found. So going through ramp, Team Heretics were not countering that position very well. And then when they were anchoring on A side, it wasn't very effective because of losing that ramp control, which ended up in being overrun by Heaven on A. That was the thing that KC, I think, was doing really well. But still, they were allowing Team Heretics too much on the B main control. The one-ways from Omen, combined that with the raise nade, was typically pushing them away in that early part of the round.
I love that you mentioned the raise. Let's talk a little bit about Miniboo and how he was performing on Icebox. We saw that actually Narrate had kind of the upper hand against him. We saw a lot of times that his utility was having a lot of effect on the Heretics duelist. We heard Alpha here that he is actually supporting Team Heretics, and if we want to see a map number 5, it has to start here on Split. Now, my question to you is, if Team Heretics wants to take this to a map 5,
Split with you
and
and Astra
going to be adapting onto all of that, what do you think is going to be the edge as you jump into Agent Select and no changes in the server?
Yeah, no surprises over here. I think
what is the next, you know,
very
I think Team Heretics need to play
very
exactly
oppressive
like
team
Sunset.
comp for Carmen Corp with the Omen ultimate, Fade ultimate, your ultimate.
And Casey was struggling in stopping that. And here, the trio of Ruyen's, Boo, and
we see a Viper
and
a breach, like big balls breach, no fucking sky, no nothing.
So many oppressive, probable openers from Team Heretics can be being done here as gambles, as gambits.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going back to seeing
and
Martin
an Astra
on
instead of
previously, we also saw some cheeky plays. Would you like him to be more conservative or to repeat?
No, I want to see
the most predictable, maybe.
I think the predictability from Yoru is good when it's also combined with the Omen Paranoia, for example. We have seen already them doing the ult on Alphayer, actually, when he was smashed by the Paranoia, then ulted by Yoru, and you have no response. You're literally just getting outplayed, and there's no way of counterplaying it unless you're close to the Yoru or with multiple teammates. If you're singled out, you're dead. That's something I would like to see from KC again.
Yeah, they're gonna expect that.
Combining that with Yoru, with the TPs and the ultimates, it's a very low risk but a high reward play, and that's something that can be abused specifically if you get a lot of orbs. But the problem is, Team Heretics was not allowing them to get a lot of orbs because of the proactive defense on the B main. So there was
probably, you know, as a countermeasure when you see that composition on the other side.
So this is going to be like a push and pull between both teams. It's a very interesting matchup, even though the last time it was a 13-5.
Love that you mentioned the push and pull. But guys, it's time to get into the action. KC, they do want those 3 points. Heretics, they want to take this to a map 5. Mitch and Tom, I know that you love Split, and you definitely want this to go into overtime at least.
True. Thank you so much, Kakuka, and our analyst desk. Thanks to change.
Wait, that wasn't Super doing the best impression of all time.
Oh, it could be. You might be right. She is extremely good at accents.
While
as I've
also
learned.
interviewing Alfie at the same time.
You should hear her your boy Lewis impression. But as we come into Split, I'm excited to see what K-Corp have got up their sleeve. Personally, I'd love to see this go all the way to 5. But the way they're playing, back-to-back 13-7s, it doesn't look like they KC have any intention of letting it go that far. They want to end it here.
No, this is a super explosive composition that they have as well. And one of the focus points has to be Martin. In their game versus Fnatic, he was incredible. Pulling them left, right, and center. Well, it's just going to be left for the side of Heretics. They've gone straight into the B side, already getting into an afterplant.
Solid stuff to start this off. Side of Team Heretics, they don't decide to back off, instead staying on the site. Up top, Narrate has not spotted the player below him, so Benji's good to go. Finding another on Tamazi before Magnum steps up, but he's got so much more to do and falls immediately with KC. The rest of the squad not far behind. 1-0 for Team Heretics with a clean pistol. I like the take, it was pacey, but wow, a very messy retake from KC. They often thrive in that chaos, but this time it wasn't to be.
Yeah, one of the fastest rounds that we've seen so far. And I do think a lot of the information and delay that can be thrown in by KC, those pacey rounds could actually be quite valuable. Like when you're running those double controllers, if you can get the smokes down in time, a lot of those fights become quite awkward. And that is the thing. This composition is pretty much made to make things scrappy. Get up close, get in your face. And I don't think Heretics mind that too much.
No, we've seen it a bunch of times as well, even in their previous games. When you get aggressive and you try to take them pound for pound, that's where they find a lot of value. Now, that might not be true this time with so many pistols in play. The paranoia hasn't hit, but the drop down from Narrate is good. Falls immediately, though. 2 players on the site, one up top causing problems, drawing their eye and making sure those players on site have an element of surprise to it. The flash was good. The follow-up, not so much. The damage is already massive with Magnum in a 1 versus 2, but he's going to be blindsided by Boo. Heretics win.
And we are hearing the players scream way before the end of the round.
I like the gamble that was taken in that
The
round.
sound, if the sound guy could do something.
If Heretics are going to continue to play this direct, it's probably going to end up hurting them eventually. The fact is, though, a lot of what we expect from this composition from the side of KC is going to be on that tag.
Bonus.
Like, you have a lot of opportunities to
serve
quite cool and interesting takes, 2
we have a
explosive
shotgun on Boo.
duelists. Right now, Boo has a Bucky. That's what I want to be watching. What's he about to do? He has to try and take some space somewhere, because I don't know how he's going to apply a long-range Bucky on attack.
Oh, just hit the right clicks, mate. Don't worry. That extends the range by about a meter. He's going to have a tough time for sure, but a Ghost at least.
Oh, and that sneak from the Viper.
Very common spot to make
it
those
could be
plays.
very dangerous for
be
KC.
Flash not going to catch him. Bucky, not that good though. That's always going to be your problem. Luckily, they've taken him.
And it is dangerous indeed.
Up with his wall. He's turned back to fight Shin, but lost his life. The numbers now back.
And they're gonna.
It's not like Team Heretics want to blitz
go
straight
for
towards
the
A. You can see that spike rotating back. They'll group up as 3 and look to take it B. The timing is pretty good.
It's mainly going to be if there's any utility. And there is. A C's available. Timed right.
Oh, that jump.
Perfect. I think I'm not going to catch anyone.
Catches
They're going to fake steps away and then start moving their way back. A little bit of a wide jump out from Magnum, but instead he's just going to have to surrender the site. Look to play on the retake. Now bear in mind, Rian's never got to collect any of those guns. I think the only one in reach was a Bucky.
30 seconds
and he decided not to go for that.
Nice.
Good first kill for KC.
And
And those player cams are still fucking horrible. Like, the fucking EMEA production is...
The peek around the back. Oh, he's got the reload off on time, but the shots don't quite land. Not for him.
And a 3-4-0.
3 kills.
They managed to isolate like every single Heretic player.
Really well. That was a start that was basically a 2-for-1
nice
trade.
shit.
You lose a Bucky and you get 2 kills off the back of Padatek. It's mainly just this re-aggression and Shin being more than prepared and just having a great round overall. KC break back fast. And on this defensive side, looking strong. Now, for the other side of things, I want to note that it was a 9-3 defensive half when they last played this map. Now, as we've already mentioned throughout the series, I feel like KC, even from the last time they played Heretics, have come forward leaps and bounds. It's a different team, different roster to who played previously. But it is worth noting that KC are going to want to at least put up a decent defensive side because of what happened last time out.
KC's attempt at defensive aggression is going to be similar to what we saw in the previous map, relying on Martin. And now that he's got a gate crash to get out, he's much more confident to take those wide open positions. Quick kill on Rian's, and he's bailed, leaving, well, the rest of KC to pick up the pieces, and those pieces not too easily recovered. The decoy attempt alongside Boombot is nice. You can see that the Heretics have no control. They've got a go through the smokes, take some risky plays.
They still don't know the judges here. That's the main problem. They've been faking again. They love doing this, just giving away like, oh yeah, I'm here, come for me, go for the guy with the rifle. And instead, narrator's just sat there, hasn't moved a muscle the entirety of this round. Into B they go, this battle of Tomazi, but he's just looking to try and delay them even further. 40 seconds left on this clock. Again, they're going back towards this position, a slow sneak in. They're going to end up walking straight into him. He's waiting on the other side.
And he has the spike.
It worked the entire time. Sure, it might have taken a lot longer than they would have hoped it would. And now Boo, he's got to sprint, he's got to run, he's got to get this spike and try and move on to the site. His teammate looking to try and wrap back around.
He's going to get a flash.
It's just not good enough. They need so much more. And KC, with their trap plays, have left Paditek out of the round.
Great ideas on how to retake that control. Initially taking the fight right down on middle, falling back, having their setups. As you said, baiting them into that false sense of security. They move in towards vent. They've seen nothing there the whole round. That's because there's a judge waiting. And in actual fact, Heretics almost had a way into the B site because we saw Tomazi shrouded step to the site and he just dodged the bullets as he stepped away. He ended up on 24 HP from a spam through the box. And if he was a little later, a fraction of a second, he would have been in trouble. Favorite avatar is Aang. Well, he's mastered all the elements of a top tier team before and looks like he's doing it again. One map away from locking in top spot in EMEA. And we're now neck and neck.
Toxins going up. It definitely feels like he has the experience of someone over 100 years old, but he's not quite looking like it. Already back to what looks like a slightly more direct attempt. Maybe just farming up the orbs, in fact. Miniboo 1 away. Rian's 2, so...
Yeah, it's gonna be an 8.
In fact, if they can go get the other orb on the other side, might be a little bit more difficult.
Right there.
Instead, though, they're going back to this mid position. Martin, well placed once again, but in this sort of round, definitely not worth the risk.
That's what you think, Tom. Well, let me tell you, there's a different school of thinking out there. Martin's pioneering it, and he's just about making it out with his life. They've got some lessons to learn, I suppose, after that one. The Team Heretics, 4 versus 4. They'll be happy with that outcome.
Ah, the slow...
The Cypher then means they still have to have someone behind.
Like, he's still got the judge.
No,
He's in a different position, and it looks like they're going to be walking right into where he is. He's got a teammate as well in Shin, watching the heavens above.
It's in the ping.
Heretics go. They're walking into what seems like a nasty trap. Starting to use some utility in an attempt to clear some of the angles that could be a risk, but they don't know about this man down below. Shin up above, holding on. That's the spike. The spike has been dropped. There doesn't seem to be much hope here, and Shin just holding the line once again. Counter flash.
And he's dropped above him.
He's at least managed to find one.
He cannot get him. It's over.
Another save.
Yeah, maybe if the spike was down below, he could try to roll the dice.
What a nice shot.
Lightning fast, but so too is the timer of the round. It's ticked all the way. The victory found from the side of KC. The advantage, 3-2, as they take the lead. Got over on Heretics. They're going to be a little disgruntled after that one. They got it very close. But they can also fall back mentally to the fact that this was a round where they did not have a lot. It was mostly pistols. They 1-to-1 traded to start. They found a lot of weaknesses on that A push. They're going to learn from that coming into round number 6.
Yeah, this is a round where a lot of the ultimates are starting to build up as well. Showstopper, Rolling Thunder, Nightfall. Even a Viper's Pit, if Panitek can get into an afterplan. He's been having a lot of impact so far, 8-1 on the scoreboard, but a lot of the rounds has been too little too late. Shin going for some of these early peaks, but at least for now, isn't going to find anything. And they're executing straight off this. They're just looking to try and take out one of these controllers. In fact, they catch Shin.
They've just popped every ult they had to try and get this one, and it looks like it's worked. So many kills.
Oh, wow.
Double nade kill. Not even off the first blast.
And Paditek is behind.
Falling out after Paditek has managed to slice a little bit of control for himself towards the spawn, and as we're seeing on our screens, KC are in a bit of trouble because they've lost their screens. I don't know where Martin's planning to take this one, but it's got to be right into Paditek's face if he wants spawn control, and he's done that pretty flawlessly. The first, but many more to come if he's to have a chance. And you can see he's not even going to try it.
No, it's because Shin and Narrate are low on cash. That's why we've seen the judge a couple of times. Is even though Panatek, as said, like in terms of him actually finding value during the round, he's been really doing the damage to their economy out of it. And this change of pace, the Rolling Thunder, pretty much used just to isolate Shin. Showstopper thrown in alongside it. It's a lot of spam put into the round.
Nightfall as well. Same time as the Rolling Thunder. They committed both.
But it did pay its dividends. That's the thing. Heretics have managed to break their way back, get themselves 3-3 onto that board. And as mentioned, they had a fantastic defensive display last time out.
I do like the... I think on one hand, I very much like the fact that they burst their ults into heaven. They have the nades and so on to follow up on it. But I think they're so very lucky that so many players from KC were in that spot. Normally, you maybe get one guy, and you're going to wreck his day. A second, sure, but I think there were 3 players heaven. So it just completely, they pulled out the rock to KC's paper. And I think, you know, those things are going to happen. They've set themselves up for success. And early on in the map, it's exactly when you want that to occur.
Oh,
get out of there. Blast pack out. Easy. Stun, though, is good. And they're chasing him down. No chance for Nare.
No. And Shin's been tagged up as well. This is an instant response. A pace change from Heretics as they'll make their way into the site. The judge this time isn't going to have any impact.
Here.
Shin, Tamazi, not in a bad position to try and do at least a little bit of extra damage, but they need to isolate Benji, who's now sat in the back lines. Chilling behind them, dodges the flash, is able to escape back through the smoke. I don't even think he took any damage from that spray. That's going to be someone they have to clear. The final ult that was on the board is going to be that Viper's Pit, but Miniboo's gone down. Martin somehow, while pushing into that utility, has got rid of Panatek. Somehow this has come back to being competitive.
Shouldn't have even been close. The KC have left Boo in the wind and found themselves a 4th round. I don't know what Martin saw that gave away those positions, that gave him the confidence to step into the pit and take the duels, but hell, I'm glad he saw it. Absolutely beautiful play from this defensive squad. Tom, I always feel like at least once I see that Viper's Pit go down, the round is very much swung in your favor. We'll see this replay. The first I understand. Get out. Get out of here. Get out. How? You gotta think he's low and whatever, oh, he saw a barrel. Yeah, but the other player saw a massive red highlight on a low HP player that he knew was in that position and couldn't even get a shot off with how quick he was fired on. That's outrageous.
I've heard of 2020 vision. I think this man might be a few years ahead. That's absurd.
He's in 2024 with the vision. Gorgeous stuff.
Oh, looking like Heretics aren't afraid to go for the same sort of play. This is where they've had the majority of their success. Is making a move in towards heaven. Narrate forced off the angle by the same nade, and now the pressure comes in. Shin left completely blind, but he hasn't been checked on. He hasn't been cleared, and because of that, he gets away with so much. The round's over in a matter of seconds, and Andaluthia flawless. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, once he finds those 2 as well, even the first, you see players start to turn to address him, and then the rest of the squad comes out of the woodwork to take him. I'm loving this from KC because we'll see players in that position who don't get the support that they need. But this guy's always got someone else to swing. Benji was just about to take Shin down, deal with that problem. Oh, it's amazing to see Magnum activated like that. And Andaluthia, flawless round. And KC are feeling on top of the world, certainly on top of this game. 1 map needed. This is the pick of Heretics. So again, we'll go back to saying KC have chosen the defense. They wanted to start here. They're building up the rounds. We're seeing they're comfortable. I don't know about the next half.
But this is the thing, when you go back to those sort of storylines, Papa Boo, Mama Boo in the audience, it's going to be hopefully celebrating their son's success. They've been fantastic already, making it to Madrid under the Heretics organization. The fact is, though, they're going to need a few cheers here, because right now KC might be about to do genuinely one of the greatest turnarounds we've seen. Bear in mind, they've had to go the longest way through this entire bracket. Last year, we don't even want to talk about it. We don't want to bring it up. But the 2 maps that they got destroyed on last time they played, Lotus, they've already won it and split.
Yep.
To go and get banged out 13-4 twice and then turn around and beat that team on those 2 maps a couple of days later. It would truly be an absurd way to win this grand final. And all that stands in their way is the team that beat them out. Heretics behind.
They found that win before, but struggling to search for it again. Shin opening it up. Martine already doing damage, left Miniboo in the corner, desperately trying to cling to life. They can't quite manage it. Damage across the board in favor of this defensive side. Carmine Corp looking absolutely untouchable in the last couple of rounds, and for Team Heretics, this is a full pump of the brakes. KC can sit down, run the clock. They've got control over the attacker spawn, for God's sake. With the spike down, at least Boo can pop the ultimate, but, well, he'd have to be alive to do that, and he might not be for too much longer because they found out where he is. And it's not just one player. It's not just Magnum alone. He's heard running away, but Tamazi's there to back him up.
There's nowhere to go.
There is no open space.
There's literally nowhere. They're watching two different angles from the spawn. One player's pushed up Suez, the other is on B. Like, there is literally nowhere to go. And sure, they're even spreading out because they know he can risk it and retrieve the spike. But at this stage, even though it may not be the most impactful ever, there's no value in it. There's absolutely nowhere the Boo can go. So it is just going to have to be that safe. Hold on to the rifle, bring something into the next round. But it is another massive success for the side of KC. They are weathering any storm that comes up against them, adapting, being dynamic. The crossfires have been devastating. The utility's been superb. And Narate, he is on 14 HP, but he wants to try and take this gun away. Clearing one of the close angles, going to try and swing in! And somehow, even while low, he's just ripped it out of the hands of Boo.
What a round for KC. Utter dominance. Martine going down in the trade was the only downside, and somehow Narate's just picking up kill after kill. You don't swing that angle. You don't take fights like that unless you're incredibly confident. And the player knew he was coming. He threw the nade. Yeah. He gave it away. At the element of
shot
surprise.
off a flare.
Typed in all chat. I'm going to peek spawn in a sec, just so you know.
Left side, left side.
Coming from your left. Well, you better be ready, because Martine certainly is. Miniboo doesn't get a chance to even throw out a piece of utility in this round. He is dropped on the jump peak.
For the smoke. Martine hoping for a little bit of more magic. He's met with a bullet. Will be forced back.
Bit ambitious.
But again, these opening fights just going the way of Carmine Corp every single time.
Yep.
And it's Miniboo. In the first maps, well, the first map at least, he was lights out. Unstoppable. Throughout the tournament, but he's been the #1 player in ADR, ACS, opening kills, clutches, you name it. He's there at the top. But in this map, he has been shut down. In the last map, he was shut down. The map before that as well. KC have proven that Miniboo might not be as devastating to them. Under pressure, though, on the site.
Well, that pressure's alleviated by Narate. Comes straight in with a showstopper and a good hit onto Rianne's. The utility out spike on back B, and two players spread
30
out.
seconds left.
A very tough fight.
Wow.
Presents itself for Team Heretics. They do well to win the first, but with Patatek down and Benji Fishy a known quantity, there was no way that that was going to work in their favor. Team Heretics down 7-3. KC are running away with this defensive side. Only 2 rounds left to play for. You have to hope that Heretics have got something left in the tank, but I'll tell you what, whether they do mentally or any other aspect, they do not when it comes to credits. It's going to be a tough follow-up round.
Yeah, and the thing is, they won the pistol second round and then 1 round since. It has been 7 of the last 8. This has been dominant for KC. They are flipping the script on everything that Heretics showed last time. The prep, the individual play has been there. Okay, there's a showstopper. That's about all.
And that can is just because they are playing scared of the AWP, like...
Nice work from Miniboo though, he didn't even need to use it. Magnum is there alongside him, but he will go down as well.
It's looking like a nice eco for
Miniboo that's
Heretics.
making them so awkward. Heretics have done a great job to take that side control. Conserve the ult as well until it was needed. I don't know how Miniboo got away with it. I guess the blast from the rocket helped him out. This swing from Martine, and whoa, he won't even get to swing. No gate crash to be found, 7-4. And we mentioned the lower economy in the hands of Team Heretics, but they have most certainly made it work anyways.
This was the guy that we wanted to see. As said,
that's ridiculous.
I felt like I've awakened the beast a little bit, but he had gone missing. And then just like that, a little bit of extra confidence, moves his way to the top of the board. And a 7-5 half, not a death sentence. I do think that this KC attack side, if implemented correctly, can be devastating to play against.
Cover going out.
But from what looked like a bleak to impossible scenario, this is now somehow looking workable. Even still, though, it's not going to be easy.
Oh, not with narrate around. That flash from Martin! He's gone absolutely ham! It's crazy because we compliment KC. Oh, they sit back, they play together. They're always a second element to it. Except for Martin. Sometimes he can just come swinging out of a smoke and take 2 kills. And he kind of whiffed the first couple shots. That could have been 3. Devastating stuff for Heretics. With Patatek extremely low. And
it's gonna explode on this side.
The real point of contact nade. Oh, that's gonna force Patatek to the elbow too. Both of these players on the same angle. And here comes the swing very soon. We've got 2 players inside the smoke. It's their choice of where they want to go, and 3 together. Good spray to start. Magnum down, but not able to follow up. KC quickly put a close to that, and a cap on the half at 8.
And yeah, it looks like a 3-1.
Position for the French organization. 1 map away, and the lead is theirs by double.
They put themselves into an amazing spot.
It's crazy.
Martin, narrate, the interplay, the baits. Shin with the setup. And well, Magnum with some trash talk.
He's been feeling himself. And honestly, seeing his confidence skyrocket, seeing him stand up, scream in his opponent's face, the smiles, the cheers. You're even having teammates telling him to calm down. I mean, it's a different look than the Magnum we knew from a long time ago. And leading this team, you can just see he's come out of his shell. Wonderful to see him reach these heights. And to have found some talent like Narrate, like Martin, like everyone else on this roster. It's such a wonderful display of top-tier Valorant from 2 teams that were not pinned as being in the top tier when we started this out.
This is so much info. They're going for the combo straight off the bat. That's already going to be Martin out. They were just setting up off the back of that cam to try and do as much damage as they could. Still, though, Casey kind of recovered it. Like, that was almost perfect. 3 players right in the right place at the right time. A stun thrown through. And somehow, it's a 1-for-1 trade. The cam's not gone, though.
They'll see it now. There you go, eventually realizing they've been caught on CCTV. It's time to move, and it's straight up towards Heaven, meeting with Tamazi for the A hit. Rian's already tagged up from the earlier fight, puts pressure on Patatek, who's catching players, not even looking. They were so focused on Rian's, who's done a little bit more damage, bought time for the rotate. Look where Benji Fishy is. This is a nasty position, not one you expect. And he wasn't expecting the jump peek.
It's gonna be tighted though.
Player was low, mid hold from Boo. Paranoia is good, but the players in the... Oh no, it's not good! Magnum didn't get blinded. He sidestepped it. And now we're neck and neck, 2 versus 2. What a recovery.
It looked like it was going to be spot on, but not this time. I'm looking at Shin. His positioning always seems to be paramount in these rounds, and he's able to clear some of the backlines. It leaves him in a position where if he gets this right, he could be catching the players in the back as they look to push into the site. Information should be had. I think he will have heard them already. Oh, that's perfect. Now he definitely knows. They're looking to try and clear the site, and instead, he's just slowly making his way up behind the Magnum, just trying to bait down that clock a little bit more, and already he's found one. Then Magnum actually gets both.
Wow.
He didn't even need the help of Shin. That man in the back, the knife, looking to be slipped, and instead, Magnum, loud and proud.
Mag the knife. He's doing an absolutely incredible job. 9 kills on the board. It's not a stellar lead. It's not anything that we're going to write home about as, oh, he's the top fragger of the server. He's lights out. But he's had good games, consistently putting up numbers when he needs to across every map in this series. And that was a big blow to Team Heretics. Remember, half the rounds they got came off the back of winning the pistol and the follow-up. Now they're 9-4 down with no money. Pistols, a couple, 2 sheriffs, a ghost, and 2 classics to work with. KC should warm this buy and absolutely dominate every duel that they take.
Spike planted.
There's going to have to be a lot of things going right for Heretics. I don't imagine this round is theirs. 10-4 down. They need a near flawless comeback into things. It would help if they could manage to upset the KC squad here and now. We've seen it before with weaker pistols.
I'd be impressed. I think this might just be a 10. Time ticking away. Nurate already good for one. The cleanup. Wow, ever so clean. Leaving just one man standing, hopeful for a single kill, and it will be nothing. And Andaluthia flawless. The conversion of that round versus pistols, and now with a bonus, it's scary as well, because we've seen KC, similarly to what we saw from Heretics, just being able to pull out these explosive rounds off the back of SMGs. Nurate likely will be leading the charge in the next round, and that's not something you want to be seeing. Interestingly, it seems like this might be a KC timeout. Clearly, Eng maybe wanting to weather the storm, try and say to some of his players, all right,
and it's
head
over.
Back in the game. It's not one yet.
It's gonna be really hard for Heretic to come back
haven't
from
reached
that.
7 rounds on the last 2 maps, and well, the deja vu's got to be kicking in yet again. The pistol lost, the follow-up clean from KC, the money riding high on that French organization. They can play a bonus round where they have rifles to work with, you know, 2 Bulldogs and a Phantom. And on the attack side, that Death Ball can make use of those weaker weapons just for the bodies, just for the extra barrels pointed at the opposition. Heretics need to be near perfect from this point. And again, it's their pick. KC chose the defense to start with. For Heretics, they better hope that they've got one of the best defenses we've witnessed on Split to stop this.
They did last time, but the fact is, that was a team that had never lost a map.
Yep.
That was a team that had never tasted defeat, at least as a unit. That was a team that believed in everything they were doing wholeheartedly. And while the fact that your opponent's just taking a pause when they're 10-4 up, that's got to be sitting on your mind. What have they got planned? What are the ideas that have been set forth? Early space taken. A fast-paced move, but the spike going up through middle could be a problem. Panatek, prime position, but he's only going to get the one. The one drop, though, is the spike. But the rest of the team are coming back round with it. Looking to head through A, back up to B. Boo, well placed to maybe put a spanner in the works. But again, it's an instant trade.
Both of those kills, Boo and Patatek, dropped by Shin. Another player who's been so impressive, and I think I could go through the KC roster and just name them all at this point. Blowing our minds game after game. And for Shin, those 2 kills valuable because they've sent the rest of the squad.
And Benji Fishy
Right
with his one taps.
Into the waiting hands of Tamazi, neither of which win their fight, so it's all onto him. An ace needed by Shin, his 3rd already secured. Low HP on Benji Fishy. It's doable for this young gun. He's swinging.
Oh.
And a beautiful headshot. Just 10 HP between him and an 11th round for KC. Another nail in Heretics' coffin. I'd love to see
the game. Show us the game. What the fuck? What?
Just in case you didn't catch it, he did get that. He aced it. He found the kill on the 10 HP. And as we can see, Mini Boo's not happy. That
What the fuck? Bro.
People are going to remember this ace for all the wrong reasons.
One of the most memorable aces of all time. What a shot, man. Not bad on the last one either.
Man, the fucking EMEA pod is like...
I'll try to take that advice. 11-4. KC, 2 away from winning. And as, well, we can see and or imagine,
and
it's been a
that
tough one for
rotation
Team
is
Heretics.
huge.
Now they're
Like,
again left to weaker weapons, judges in hand, and it's Mini Boo with a Guardian to try and make this work. It's a tough one. It's going to be a real battle. And one that they can't really afford to lose.
and we see Shin rotating, so it's gonna be a beat.
Panatek in position, but he shot the fake out. They know he's here.
Now they know.
What gun he's got as well.
Funneling back to hopes is like...
Trying to reclaim some of that ground, and he's going to be caught for it. Another judge on the other side for Boo. maybe it won't be expected, but with the weaker weapons in this round, expectation should be that he's here. Does manage one, a second as well.
Down B.
That's the spike drop. He doesn't have much support. He's going to try and get a little bit aggressive, maybe knowing that there's a wraparound coming in. Miniboo trying to communicate it, and Martin will find the trade. Even still, though, clearing this man is not going to be easy. Martin actually going aggressive. He's going to find Rians, looking for a little bit more. He spots the man close. That's Benji, as they both go barreling their way towards this A site.
Right read from Benji. Immediately just ignores Martin, goes for the rifle. Goes for a recovery around middle. And they'll set themselves up to try to fight back through. The information just to clear out if there's any lurks, make it quicker on the rotation back. They're splitting as well, Tom. Two different angles for these players to work with. I love this from Martin. They think they know where he is, but the sound cue might have been caught by Boo. He's ready on the swing. A third kill for the leader of Heretics, but no fourth. It's Shin again, hot off his ace to try to recover.
Is he gonna wall?
Fishy didn't find the rifle. He's left with a sheriff in hand as Shin swings through, looking for him yet again.
But
a rematch in the 1v1, and the same result. Kamingo, 12-4, 8 chances to close out the grand final of EMEA. A 3-1
and go to Madrid as the fucking first seed.
Last time they faced Heretics.
Holy
They're
shit.
To basically do the role reversal. They lost 13-4 the last time they played this map. The team that 2-0'd them faces them in the final. And after losing that first map, they're looking to clean sweep them right out. 3-0. A team, as we've spoken to Eng, spoken to Zation, it was built, they just wanted to play as many matches. They wanted to learn what they could throughout this tournament. But they might just end up champions while doing just that.
Portal was broken, so no TP. But no Martin at all. In fact, good kill for Miniboo. That's a very valuable scalp to take. I mean, Martin's bailed them out of a lot of tough situations. The 13-4 dream. Well, it's not as alive as it was, but there's plenty other players to recover it. Hell, if Shin's alive, it's doable.
Nightfall available. Flash, sublime, but not managing to capitalize off of it. Oh, again, opportunities for Miniboo, but he's just not quite landing the shots. Rians will do the work instead. Been having a bit of a rough time, but at least onto the board. Benji holding strong on the other side as Shin's lurk is definitely being watched for. One of the better scenarios we've seen from Heretics, but that's been the major thing, is when they seem to be out is when they finally start waking up. And for Rians, that does mean taking down another. The spike retrieved, but a 2 versus 4, not a lot of time to play with. They need to go.
Yeah, and they're putting a lot of stock into that catwalk position. There's no one from Heretics there, so the utility doesn't fall on anyone. Doesn't set them up, and they certainly didn't know that Miniboo was in that off angle.
He's gonna plan for money.
And wait, good night.
He's gonna get knifed, no?
Not good night just yet. In fact, they don't know he's there.
Holy
oh
fuck.
My.
How did Boo not hear him?
I've never had as much of a misread, but then again, neither did the other team. So it's all good. I was certain he was dead. He's TPing in front of a player, but the box just about blocked him.
TP'd in front of Boo.
Wow, that could have been a disaster.
Yeah. But that seems to be the thing. With Heretics, when they're down, they start clutching out these rounds, but they're never easy. They're never clean. They always end up being close. And you can see on the other side, they believe at every single moment that there's a chance to close this one out. 12-5. Both teams still having some vulnerabilities. The flash actually catches Narrate a bit, but he carries on going. Showstopper popped. And he's hoping to try and find something.
Oh my god!
Gonna get shot in the head. Luckily, Rians has found one backside.
Martin on his yo.
Martin has gone down.
Did Martin
He did. He took the kill and TP'd. Yep. He'd put his gate crash early in towards back B, and well, bless him. You know, not many players would have the audacity to try to make that play. It hasn't worked out. Cosmic Divide and Nightfall in play. It's caught one. Paranoia response.
Ooh. They know.
Good damage.
They're
Good
gonna
kill.
know.
Easy spams. Rienz is low. Hello. Eventually they get him. And now it looks like the dominoes have started to fall. Team Heretics. They took down the kings of EMEA. But now they found that throne, it wasn't theirs. Not automatically. Karmine Corp just a few kills away. Narrate might just have them in the bag. He's walked up, the smoke fades.
G,
and so too does all hope for Heretics. Karmine Corp go all the way. And it's Magnum from 0 to hero, literally. He debuted with no kills. And he walks out with the trophy. What an unbelievable display. The French scene, they suffered last year, Tom. They suffered. Now, finally, they find success.
Last year was the bottom of the barrel. A mockery. Melons is what some people called them. But the fact is, it had been said by Kometo. He picked up Eng, he gave him the keys to the castle to build the team he wanted. He made Shin retrial to be back in this team again. He earned his spot, and now he sits right at the top of the board. And he brought in some youngsters. He brought in someone with experience and put him in a new role. But the fact is, he has built a masterpiece. Something that was never expected to eliminate Fnatic, to take down Heretics after they beat Na'Vi. It is a brand new champion in EMEA, and who knows what they can do next.
Well, it doesn't get much better than this. Kicking off the roster.
Oh, they got a new trophy.
The trophy. They'll lift this man. And rightfully so. One of the best tournament performances we've seen from Magnum. New levels hit, all while leading this squad. Doing a damn good job of it. An unbelievable achievement for Karmine Corp, and the trophy is theirs. Rightfully so.
Eng not willing to steal the moment from his players. He'll put the losses on his back, but he won't accept it when it comes to the wins. But the fact is, these youngsters have definitely earned it. Tomazi coming up, the Portuguese prodigy, Shin, the comeback king after last year, alongside Zay. She's going to be taking a lift of it as well. This man was playing last year. He had to stand in after the horrific days that came out last time. I'm back in EMEA where he belongs. Eng lifting the trophy once more. It is one hell of a story for Karmine Corp, and the fact is, it's only just beginning.
They're onto the international stage now, having conquered everybody they possibly could in EMEA. What a redemption arc from how this tournament started. The same team sitting opposite them. And now it's the international scene they want to take down. Some of the best in the world have already fallen here. Plenty more waiting.
Nonetheless, we're going to be going back over to that analyst desk with Yinsu and Lothar, and they'll be back soon with the post-plan.
Thank you very much, Mitch and Tom. What a day it is for Kickoff, for the fans, for the players, for the rookies, for N, for Magnum. It is a very joyous occasion here, and as you guys can see, Narrate and Magnum are gonna make their way to me and Lothar for post-plant. And Lothar, I feel like this is a real fairy tale ending for them, and what a way to end it as well.
Absolutely incredible moment from the team that we all kind of follow for different reasons last year to the champions of the first EMEA tournament. It's absolutely insane storyline. I think like the fan base is going probably very wild.
Hello, join us. We see each other again. I feel like we're always meeting each other right after you guys
I'm gonna
win.
go.
Magnum, I mean, we
fun.
have the mic here for you. We'll
Congrats,
wait for Magnum in a second.
Kickoff
But first of all,
on the
Narrate,
win.
congratulations. You've been here
And
for what, like
I'm very
10 days,
interested
and you're already
to
EMEA
see
champions.
both
How does that feel?
Kickoff and
feels pretty
the
yesable.
Boo brothers.
To be honest,
like the Heretics
I don't really have too many.
team.
I don't really have too many feelings. Obviously,
matter,
I'm happy
see
that we
what
won.
they do.
But yeah, I mean, it's nice.
Does this mean that, you know, NA better than EU? Are you the living proof?
Obviously.
I like it, Magnum. I can't believe you finally get to hold a trophy in your hands. You've been in a few grand finals, you know. It always felt like you fell to Liquid a couple times. There was Sentinels
I'm gonna
at
go.
one time as well. So you're
See
not
you
new to being in a
tomorrow.
grand final, but this must be a new feeling. So what does this mean to you?
Yeah, it's insane.
And,
to win aside,
yeah.
trophy, but it's insane.
Bye-bye.
Like, what means